13 is Charlie King, sophomore.
Very professional. Yeah, yeah.
Nah, I use my hands, so I think I'll be all right. Just don't want it to fly out the window.
No. So, Bob, my wife and I were talking, and this is the first year that we do not have like a nephew or a son since Brett Wassick in 2012 when he graduated.
Really? On the team?
So he played, so that actually be earlier than that, like 2009 is when he started playing freshman, right?
Yeah.
So we had a relative all the way through last year. Like we had Charlie Scourge, Jack Scourge for our family, right?
Really?
And now it's like we don't have anybody.
Wow.
So
Yeah, that's wild.
it's been 15 years of having somebody that would watch.
Yeah. Todd, who's the kicker?
For us,
Yeah, 14 looks like he.
Wyatt Saul.
Oh, Wyatt Saul's the kicker? All right.
He's a soccer player.
Play basketball, right? It's on your team?
That's why it's at soccer, yep.
Punting too, or will Carson handle that?
And I don't know. I have a feeling it's just kicking
How do you pronounce Van Solkom's name? Cashin?
Cashin.
Is it Ben Biter or Buter?
Buter, I think. Yeah, Buter.
These guys have announced that we're upward basketball back in the day, so I should still know.
Good.
Yeah, we'll see if it rains.
Yeah, I know. Small chance that they said it was
Right in.
7, right?
Yeah.
No.
Yep. Do we have the other one next door too? Yeah.
No, I think it's BCT.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Our guys are not this one, but the next one. They move some things around.
I was gonna say, I thought we were.
Yeah.
Okay.
My son Luke might be going to the Michigan Texas game.
When is that?
7. Week 2, yeah.
That's supposed to be good one.
I think so. It's an opportunity which is pretty expensive.
I bet it is.
So, 23-year-old kid at home with no girlfriend.
Yeah, it might be a worthwhile expense. So. The only Michigan games I've been to have been
I know this is just the first
when I worked for a guy in the Michigan legislature who used
said
to
that?
view cheerleaders.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And then he found
I know
out
this
that
came
as
to
a
the
state
old time.
representative, he could get an extra
Unacceptable.
set of
That's
No, I
yes.
know.
Yes.
I
So
told
I got
I told
to go
her.
to U of M
Okay, now I don't
with
get
my dad, who was sick of cancer at the time, and slept through that machine. And then I went to Michigan Ohio State, the 100th game, with my brother-in-law, and that was an experience.
Did his thing fly away? Did his thing fly away?
What did he get? What was there?
The folder?
Oh, my goodness,
Or did he take it with him?
Oh,
He might.
you might take it with you.
Yeah.
when they added on the sides.
Yep. The halo. Oh, yeah.
That's what he got in on club seating. And then they were terrible under Rich Rod for how many years. So then he wouldn't go to games every weekend. So I was always his first ask, right? So like he had 4 seats of club seating. You had concession hall behind you.
Oh, I don't know.
So
Oh. Whew.
we went to
It's right
probably
there.
6 or 7 games.
I did file.
over like 3 years.
Yeah. We gotta staple that down.
I just looked at the ticket prices of these games. I'm like, how in the world do people actually afford to go to these things? I just like I was looking at the Red Wings last year, and I was like, it's a hockey game, right? I can still manage the Tigers at least.
We were talking trifecta. You could do the trifecta in Detroit. Do the Tigers, Lions, Pistons, Red Wings, Tigers.
Like I'm
needs to be.
traction.
Yeah.
Talking about that.
So it's nice to, not report to anybody
Last year,
other than my
one of
business
my
partner.
brothers brought up, Lions game. Of course,
And that's
the first
been
year
really
they're
fun.
good, and you just can't get tickets.
So,
And you
and
can't do
the
this.
kiddos, you can be with the kids all the time. You get that flexibility to be with them.
Really interesting.
Really?
So it's good fit.
We'll also Thursday night for
Test.
I've never been to NFL game.
I've been to one. It was the game where they play the Atlanta Falcons at home, and they got stopped on the 1 yard line. They had a 10-second penalty to lose the game.
It's a perfect night.
It is perfect weather.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that could have been tragic.
That would have been tragic.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Playoff game.
I should have brought it with you.
Landcorp. He said he went from just beer like close to straight.
Test one. Test two.
The only time I've been to Fort Field was 2 years ago. And it was like the day after a Lions game, and I picked up some paraphernalia. And that was about it. I like
You know,
this stat.
this is all this digging.
I've been to Comerica when they started building Fort Field, and I think I have a picture somewhere.
Your site that you did
Track
for
one,
the
two.
shows.
Check
Like
one.
I'd never actually been in Fort Field.
College football.
So that's half the reason I
What?
went to that game was just to see Fort Field.
All this and then transfer from.
That's often that's off Tim's stats from last year.
12, 13, 14.
But you don't have so many lines.
Bryce, I got a roster yesterday.
From where?
Christian.
Oh, good ask him. Where did David send it to?
We've done at least one of those, right?
1 and 12 and 14.
And you tested these out? These are good?
Yeah, these are good.
So we have a pattern for this season.
You have to go.
You have to win. Yeah, it's destiny.
There's a cooler, couple in the main PA area.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't just find yourself.
Pictures and biographies of all 181 inductees at grshOF.com.
Stock up this Labor Day with amazing savings at your neighborhood family fair. With Card, enjoy cool sips of select varieties of Pepsi or 7-Up products. Buy 2, get 3 free. Beat the heat with 6 to 12-count Outshine bars, 2 for $8. And save on items down every aisle during our Buy 5, Save 5 sale on items like select varieties of Nabisco Ritz or snack crackers, select varieties of Farmland sliced bacon, or Kool-Aid, Tang, Arizona, Mio, Country Time, or Crystal Light drink mixes. Family Fair in your neighborhood.
Car Center is an automotive collision repair company with multiple shops throughout West Michigan.
Our goal is simple: to bring hospitality to the collision repair industry.
You can find us online at carcentermi.com to find the location nearest to you. Because at Car Center, fixing cars is our job.
But helping people, that's our business.
Mosquitoes outnumber humans by like 1,000,000 to 1. So who are you giving your blood to? The humans or the mosquitoes? It's us versus them. And I think they're winning. So donate blood with Versity Blood Center of...
In 2022, South Christian had a dream season, 14-0, on their way to a state championship win at Ford Field over Goodrich, 28-0. Last year, the Sailors, after moments of a rocky start at the beginning of the year and late in the season, put together another playoff run, marched to Ford Field on the heels of an 11-3 record, falling in the final game in a heartbreaking fashion, last play of the game, to Harper Woods. Tonight, South Christian begins their track for a third straight trip to Ford Field. High school football is back on Michigan Sports Radio and the Sailor Zone.
Weights have been lifted. Sprints have been run. Preparation for today's game is history. It's time to get it done. You're listening on MichiganSportsRadio.com.
Well, hi again, everyone, and welcome to another exciting season of high school football. Tonight, live from East Kentwood, it's the South Christian Sailors hosting the Grand Rapids Christian Eagles in the 55th meeting between these two old rivals. I'm Bob Sack. I'll have all the play-by-play for you tonight. Former South Christian captain Bryce Sack along for the color commentary. And how about it, Bryce? It's Labor Day weekend. What a great time to be back and enjoying football.
No better time than this. I know everybody in this building, watching at home, is excited for the season to begin. We've been waiting for this, and it is here. Could not be more fired up.
When we return, the Sobey and Company pregame show marches on. We'll be joined by Zach Blackwire, the assistant coach and the offensive coordinator for South Christian, and we'll tell you more about tonight's matchup. South Christian and Grand Rapids Christian coming up on Michigan Sports Radio and the Sailor Zone.
67 horsepower, candy red, 8 cylinders.
Mosquitoes outnumber humans by like 1,000,000 to 1. So who are you giving your blood to? The humans or the mosquitoes? It's us versus them. And I think they're winning. So donate blood with Versity Blood Center of Michigan today.
Looking for a great place to buy a used truck or car? Check out Extreme Truck and Auto Center, located at 1098 O'Malley Drive in Coopersville. They have a huge selection of trucks, cars, vans, and SUVs. Stop by their lot or give them a call at 616-384-3777. You can check out their inventory at xtacenter.com.
Jets has been making the best Detroit-style pizza on the planet for over 40 years. Because we've always been committed to quality, like hand-pressed dough, fresh mozzarella, and sauce made from Mama Jet's secret family recipe. All baked to perfection for the thickest golden crunch. So go ahead, build your own Detroit-style pizza or order one of our specialties, like the all-meaty or Jet 10. Jets, better because it has to be.
To everyone out there who loves Culver's,
The feeling is mutual. Everything's made fresh.
Everything.
everything.
It's our pleasure.
This is me and my happy place.
I wouldn't trade our Culver's for any other restaurant.
Culver's.
We love our guests.
Love.
Love.
As much as our guests love us.
This is me and my happy place.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Sports Hall of Fame celebrates the city's rich sports history by honoring prominent West Michigan athletes and those who have contributed greatly to sports on a local, state, or national level. A class is elected each year and then honored at an induction ceremony in the fall. They also prevent annual events in support of West Michigan athletics, and they raise funds to support local youth organizations and charities. Follow them on Facebook or check out the pictures and biographies of all 181 inductees at grshof.com.
Mosquitoes outnumber humans by like 1,000,000 to 1. So who are you giving your blood to? The humans or the mosquitoes? It's us versus them. And I think they're winning. So donate blood with Versity Blood Center of Michigan.
Wings here over the last few years. Sailors come into the game, of course, coming off the heels of an 11-3 season, another trip to the state championship. Grand Rapids Christian 1-8 last year and struggled through a season that saw them only beat Fruitport during the 2023 campaign. Bryce Sackett's a South Christian team that is just really based on a phenomenal quarterback. We're going to talk a lot this season about Carson Viss, one of the best in the state of Michigan.
No doubt about it. Yeah, he's the state championship performance last year is one that definitely stands out. I know that you have the stats here, but he threw for what, 400 yards last year? So he's ready to sling the ball this year. I know that offense is going to run through this, and excited to see him put on a show tonight.
Viss has played two positions in the last 3 years. As a sophomore, he played wide receiver, was on the receiving end of the great passing attack from Jake DeHaan, and, of course, last year moved to quarterback. Sobe Pregame Show continues here. It's a pleasure to welcome in the broadcast booth the offensive coordinator for South Christian, Zach Blacklear. Always good to have football back on Labor Day weekend, isn't it, my friend?
It is. I'm a little out of breath after climbing those stairs.
I'll give you a chance to catch your breath and talk a bit about the offseason, reflecting on a team that was, again, a state finalist last year, and yet a lot of guys not back. 17 to 22 starters not returning. Had to be different for you this offseason with fewer on the roster and then fewer starters coming back. What was this offseason like?
So, first of all, just trying to recover from that last play in the state finals was difficult. I mean, on my mind quite a bit. We were so close. But what Danny's building here at South Christian, and my dad built it, is, it doesn't matter who's out there. We all play the same. We play hard-nosed football. It's been kind of fun to have a challenge this year and really work with some kids that haven't had a ton of playing time. And so I'm excited. I'm as excited as you are to see what we can do out here today. But, every year brings challenges. That's why we do it. But we've got some good kids.
A lot of guys we're going to hear about for the first time this year, but there's a few that are returning who had put their stamp on last year's season. And the guy that I want to ask you about is Ty Brinks. He has really blossomed here over the summer. What happened with Ty Brinks from last year and the injury at Ottawa Hills where he had the pick six and then got hurt later, comes back for the playoffs, has a good postseason, now prepares the offseason and starts drawing a lot of attention. I'm not want to talk about college football here tonight, but what's Ty Brinks been like to move him to such a prominent role on your team?
Yeah, he's a typical junior. He came and he was big last year but didn't understand our scheme quite as well and caught on as the year went on. And he's gotten taller, he's gotten bigger, so going to some camps and whatnot, he's drawn some attention. But Ty's put a lot of work in the offseason. We've had some workouts with him, with Tony Semple, and he's helped out a lot. And Ty's dedicated, wants to play college football, and so he's put in the work.
Tonight it's a Grand Rapids Christian team that for the first time in 13 years last year did not make the playoffs. 1-8 season, uncharacteristic of them. Let's assume they're better. You tell us why they're better here in 2024.
Well, first of all, it's a rivalry game. They've got great coaching. I have a lot of respect for their coaches. they're fast. They're physical up front, especially on defense, and so they're going to give us everything we want today.
Defensively, they're susceptible to the run. They gave up a lot of points last year. For South Christian, it's a team that has a fresh crop of running backs as well. Who will we see emerge in the backfield to alleviate a little bit of the pressure on Carson running the football?
Well, you're going to see Osterhaven and Salkema. We're going to rotate them through the first half here since they're both new. We have a lot of confidence in them, but it is their first varsity football game.
Zach Blackwire, thanks. Great to have you back. It's football season. Good luck tonight.
Hey, thanks, Bob.
That's Zach Blackwire on the Sobey Company pregame show. We'll take a break. When we come back, kickoff, moments away. South Christian, Grand Rapids Christian from East Kentwood.
You ever thought about a career in metal manufacturing? Today, careers in robotics, product development, engineering, and IT are just some of the few of the outstanding careers available. There are hundreds of businesses in West Michigan looking for people just like you and are willing to provide the training you need. Go to youarehired.pma.org or click on the PMA logo on the Michigan Sports Radio homepage. There's an opportunity for a lifelong career, and it's in your hands.
Back here at East Kentwood, just moments away from kickoff. Grand Rapids Christian won the toss. They will defer, so we are moments away from the kick. And as we head down to the field right now, we'll be joining the Grand Rapids South Christian Madrigals for tonight's national anthem and prayer as well. So let's take it to public address announcer Bruce Huttinga and our Madrigals national anthem.
Our athletes, coaches, officials, and fans to be role models for sportsmanship and fair play on the field and in our communities. And most of all, putting God on display through his gift of sports. We're excited to have our student athletes learning life lessons through educational athletics. Please do your part to promote this positive environment. Also, the Officials Association for their work staff and football games for the OK Conference. Over the last 17 years, the number of officials in Michigan has decreased. We'd like to consider becoming an official, continue making interscholastic sports possible. Go to MHSA.com and click on officials for information and to register. This game doesn't happen without our dedicated officials. Please join me in thanking our officials for their commitment to student athletes this evening. And now, ladies and gentlemen, before this evening's action, at this time, we direct your attention down to the field, where South Christian Principal Krista Wright will open off this football season with a word of prayer.
Greetings to the members of the South Christian and Grand Rapids Christian communities. I am honored to have the opportunity to pray with you this evening. Please join me in prayer. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for your hand in drawing our two schools together this evening. While we are opponents on the scoreboard, let us be united in our sportsmanship, encouragement, and in glorifying you. Please bless tonight's game, our teams, and all watching our play. God, let these athletes play well but fairly. Make competition, make them strong, but never hostile. Protect the health and bodies of these sailors and eagles. God, let all in the stands enjoy a time of unity and fellowship. May their cheers bring encouragement and support to those on the field and sidelines. If we know victory tonight, allow us to be happy but humble. If we are denied, keep us from envy, allow us to appreciate our opponents, and help us share in the joy of a well-played game. Help us all to learn something that matters once the game is over. We pray this in Jesus' holy name. Amen.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, if you are able, we ask that you stand. The privilege of tonight's game was made possible by those who have fought and continue to fight for the freedoms we enjoy. Our veterans are pillar members in our community, and we are proud of all veterans in attendance with us tonight. Civilian gentlemen, please remove your hats. Active and retired military, we encourage you to render the appropriate salute. And everyone able, please stand at attention, placing your hand over your heart as we join with the South Christian Madrigals under the direction of Holly Barr in the singing of our national anthem.
Part of the pageantry of high school football on a Friday night in West Michigan. Wonderful opening prayer by Krista Wright, the principal, head of school here at South Christian, the principal, and the Madrigals handling tonight's national anthem. Beautiful night tonight for football. Weather mid-70s, breezy, no rain in the forecast, just an absolutely delightful way to start this high school football season. It's night two. Last night, several games around the area. Many of them you heard on Michigan Sports Radio. We'll get to those scores a little bit later, particularly in OK Gold, South Christian's league this year. It's a rugged schedule that the Sailors will play this year, Bryce. They have foes that they have not seen before, and it should be a team that by the time November rolls around is pretty battle-tested.
No doubt about it. The schedule that they have is crazy intense. I mean, they have 3 teams that they're familiar with. The rest are all brand new. And it's going to be a battle-tested team, no doubt about it, but excited to see how these boys come out and play.
Grand Rapids Christian, coached by Kirk Sundberg, assisted by Reuben Riley. They used to have a dual head coach arrangement at Grand Rapids Christian. That is no longer the case as of last year. Sundberg is the head coach, Riley an assistant, of course, for Grand Rapids Christian, and his 6th year, Danny Brown, at the helm for the Sailors.
Correction there for South Christian, Danny Brown.
For South Christian.
Year, yes.
So Grand Rapids Christian won the toss. They will defer to the second half. Teeing it up for the Eagles, Hudson Ogle. The sophomore, Drew Shripka, the junior kicker. One more correction. It's not Drew Shripka, it's Ben Tolley. Sorry about that. Ben Tolley will tee it up. South Christian has Bryce Kenyon deep. He's on the near side. And on the far side, Owen Burgess. And the 2024 season is underway for South Christian. Burgess grabs it at the 13, angles to the left sideline. A lot of real estate. And finally, ushered out of bounds at the 47. Touchdown saving tackle by the kicker, Ben Tolley. Terrific blocking on that opening kick, Bryce. Great wall by the Sailors.
Great wall going to the left side, back to the South Christian sideline, set up for a fantastic return. South Christian is in a great position on this opening drive, starting at the 45-yard line.
The quarterback is Carson Viss, the 6'4", 190-pound senior, threw for over 3,000 yards and 34 touchdowns last year. Running back getting the start is Isaac Osterhaven, a 6', 185-pound sophomore. He'll rotate in with Van Solkema throughout the night. From the left hash on 1st and 10, they send Burgess in motion to the right. This quick drop back to throw. He'll tuck it and Angle towards the left sideline. A lot of room again inside the 30 down to the 20, and finally shoestring by Ben Tolley at the 19, and the dual threat of Carson Viss evident on the very first play of this scrimmage season.
If you're Grand Rapids Christian, that right there is what you need to be aware of. I watched this, saw four linemen blitzing, the rest really containing, almost spying, and you see the danger that Carson Viss brings with his feet.
The rest of that Sailor starting lineup has Chuck DeHaan split wide to the right on the far side. From the left hash, 1st and 10. Viss will throw a fade route, corner of the end zone to Brinks. He one-hands it, but I thought he got it out of bounds, and in fact he did. He had a one-handed grab. Coverage was there by Nasir Zimmerman. Incomplete, 2nd and 10. The rest of the the Sailors starting offense, Owen Burgess. See him as a prime target. The aforementioned Ty Brinks, a 6'6", 215-pound tight end. They'll flex him out a little bit at times. He'll be headed to Grand Valley next year to continue his football career. Bryce Kenyon is on the near side. He's number 7. And we'll get that offensive line momentarily. 2nd and 10 from the 21 for Carson Viss. Against a 5-man front. Viss will keep it up the middle, sheds a tackler at the 20, and then wiggles his way near the first down to the 10-yard line. Dane Fitzgibbon finally cut him down there, give him 9 yards to the 11, 3rd and 1.
Go back 2 plays, Bob, and you get one-on-one with Ty Brinks at the bottom of the screen here. That's going to be a matchup I think we got to watch for. I don't think Christian High can afford to go one-on-one with him.
This time South lines up Brinks as a tight end on the left side, with Osterhaven, the running back, on 3rd and 1. And the South Christian offense, hard count, gets Christian to jump, but so did Ty Brinks. So the question is it legal procedure? And it is. It'll go on South Christian's Ty Brinks for that false start. So that 3rd and 1, Bryce, changes to 3rd and 6. Rest of that South Christian offense has Ben Buter at right tackle. He's number 68, 6'2", 180-pound junior. The left guard is a senior, 6'3", 235-pound Parker Hennigan. Up over the ball, the lone returner on that offensive line, 6'3", 210-pound senior Cam Velton. He's number 52. Grayson Hunterman is at right guard, the sophomore, number 53. And the right tackle is Grant Jansen. He's number 51. More about him a little bit later. 3rd and 6 now from the 16. Viss with Osterhaven off his left hip. He'll fake to him. Now finds him in the right flat. Osterhaven sheds a tackle at the 15. Powers his way down the sideline for a 1st down. It was T.D. Davis dropping him there, but the South Christian with a well-designed flare pass on that play action to Isaac Osterhaven.
Man-on-man, 1v1, talent versus talent. Go get your guy the ball, let him make a play, let him break a tackle, and he did exactly what he needed to do, Isaac Osterhaven.
Sailors 1st and goal at the 8 with nearly 2 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Burgess in the slot left, Kenyon wide to the left. They draw single coverage. Chuck DeHaan wide to the right. Now Burgess in motion left to right. They'll fake it to him, and Viss will keep it. Tries to get to the edge around the left side. Stumbles, though, on a shoestring tackle by Cameron Morgan. And also there to turn him in was Davis Hutt. May have got back to the line of scrimmage, 2nd down.
We're in the red zone here. Tough to score. The South Christian offense is one that I try to keep open, and it did the zone like this, the red zone like this. Got to break tackles, got to make plays.
Watch Brinks, the large target at 6'6", pretty good place to get him the football on 2nd and goal from the 8. Hard count by Viss, takes the shotgun snap, back to throw. Here comes the rush. He steps up in the pocket, finds a wide open Burgess at the 2, but Burgess couldn't hang on to it. Heard footsteps from Adrian Self. Incomplete. It's 3rd down and goal at the 8-yard line.
Viss again, doing his thing, staying creative in the pocket, waited patiently, and just couldn't quite convert there.
If you talk to Danny Brown prior to this season, that's one of the things he's seen about Carson Viss here in the offseason, a tendency to feel a little more comfortable in the pocket, hanging in the pocket more than he did last year when he was prone to take off and run. 3rd down and 8 from the 8. Osterhaven to Viss's right. Again, a false start on South Christian, and that's going to be 2 penalties here on the opening drive for the Sailors, and 3rd and 8 turns to 3rd and 13.
Before that flag was thrown there, you can see that play forming. That was one-on-one again, top side of the screen. Carson Viss was looking to go to Ty Brink, who was one-on-one against number 2 for Christian High, Aaron Golston, 5'6", $140. That's a matchup to watch.
You like that? You like your odds with that one, no doubt about it.
No disrespect to Golston.
Now Viss will.
Now Christian High made the switch on Ty Brinks.
They send Nasir Zimmerman, a 6'1", 175-pound corner, one-on-one with Brinks. Viss to throw, fade route to Brinks in the right corner. There's that jump ball. Brinks leaps, high points it, and grabs it in the end zone. Touchdown, South Christian, the first of the year, 13-yard float from Carson Viss to Tyler Brinks.
I heard a lot about Carson Viss. I want to see him throw the ball, and that was a perfect throw. A fade to the right side of the end zone. Put it right where only his guy could get it. Great move by Ty Brinks to get open there as well. Just flawless execution by the Sailors on that first touchdown of the season.
Carson Viss looks really comfortable in the pocket, setting his feet. He can run when he wants to, but boy, that accuracy looks pretty good here on the first drive. On for the extra point is Wyatt Saul. Hold is good. He punches it through. And with 9:23 to go, the Sailors strike first. They lead at 7-0. We'll step aside. When we return, we get our first look at the Grand Rapids Christian offense and the South Christian defense on MichiganSportsRadio.com.
You ever thought about a career in metal manufacturing? Today, careers in robotics, product development, engineering, and IT are just some of the few of the outstanding careers available. There are hundreds of businesses in West Michigan looking for people just like you and are willing to provide the training you need. Go to youarehired.pma.org or click on the PMA logo on the Michigan Sports Radio homepage. There's an opportunity for a lifelong career, and it's in your hands.
Sailors strike first. They lead at 7-0. And boy, last year and really the year before, we saw a potent offense that was unstoppable all season long. Zach Blackwire, Kurt Copeland's got that offense picking up right where they left off in 2023. They move on a very efficient drive after good field position on a kick return.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That kick return put them in a great position to score there. That 13-yard touchdown pass to Brinks. That was a 7-play, 45-yard, 2-minute, 29-second drive. Again, big key there was that kick return.
Wyatt Saul sends it down to Aaron Golston at the 10. Look out, he's got a hole at the middle. Saul's the only one to beat. Can't do it, though, as Saul, with a great tackle, saves a touchdown at the South Christian 42. Boy, the seas parted for Aaron Golston, and he romped 43 yards. Couldn't juke the kicker, though. And he's going to hear about that on the bench, I'm sure. Really good tackle by Wyatt Saul to save a touchdown, and an outstanding kick return block scheme there by Grand Rapids Christian.
That tape's going to be tough tomorrow, but again, that put them in a great position there. Now Christian High, pretty much where South Christian started their drive. They're going to get the ball at the 42-yard line, looking to score.
1st and 10 at the 42. The Eagles will send out a sophomore quarterback. Number 13 is Charlie King. Piloted the JV team to a 7-2 record last year. He has Tony Phillips behind him, a big, strong running back. They'll flare it out to Phillips in the left flat. Tries to juke Kenyon at the 42, couldn't do it, falls forward for a couple. And that's a guy to watch for Grand Rapids Christian. Tony Phillips, a 6'2", 225-pound load, had a good game against South Christian last year. Give him 1 yard on that play. Remember last year Grand Rapids Christian had a quarterback change in the summer. Isaiah Cavanis was forced into the role from his running back spot to his quarterback spot literally a week before this opener. I think Kirk Sundberg feels a lot better about the preparation from this quarterback, Charlie King. On second down, Phillips has got it, running to his right near the first down, near the numbers at the 32, pulled down by Caleb Winicky. Just shy of the mark. It'll be 3rd down and 1. Good blocking by that right side.
Good blocking, good patience for Christian High there, waiting for that hole to open up and hitting it.
Trevor Moore, the right tackle, number 55-75, the right guard, Cameron Morgan, really with a good seal block on the South Christian left side, and it's 3rd and 1. Out of the pistol now. King turns, hands to Phillips right up the gut. He'll have the first down. Drags Hunderman past the marker. And the Eagles get a fresh set of downs. For Grand Rapids Christian, their offense again, quarterbacked by Charlie King. The wide receivers are Golston, along with Ben Tolley. Brant Alice will be a flex tight end. T.D. Davis is number 3. He's in the slot to the left.
Something to watch there. Tony Phillips getting up a bit gingerly after that play. Let's see. He's still in the game, though.
Out of the pistol, and the snap is good from Davis Hutt. They'll fake, and in trouble is King, but he eludes an on-rushing Rowan to Cam and then slides forward to the 23. Fine run by Charlie King. The sophomore quarterback nearly tackled for a loss by inside linebacker Rowan DeCam, but he was able to slither his way out of the would-be tackler and pick up a good 7-yard gain.
This kid's getting comfortable. Chase King, he had that first throw, swing pass out right, get the arm loose. Now he had a quarterback run, a little bit of improvisation there. Getting comfy for the sophomore.
Set that South Christian defense when we get a moment. On 2nd and 3 from the 24, they swing it out right side to T.D. Davis. Gets a block. Look out. He's got room down the right sideline, and he will score. Touchdown, Grand Rapids Christian. They answer on a swing pass from Charlie King to T.D. Davis. 24 yards, and we are a point after away from being tied. What a well-executed drive by the Eagles.
And again, a perfect drive for a sophomore quarterback to come in, get comfortable, feel out this game a little bit, let his playmakers do their thing, get them out in the open grass and let them make plays, and they did that, breaking tackles, about to tie this game up here, pending this point after attempt.
Umari Talley is on for the extra point. Out of the hold of King. You know, last year this game was a 66-42 shootout. We've played 5 minutes and 20 seconds in this one, and I have the feeling we're going to see a lot of points here tonight because both of these offenses have potent perimeter players. Talley's boot is blocked. Sliding through was Ty Brinks, the 6'6" linebacker, to get a paw on that one. No good, and with 6:40 to go, South Christian on top, 7-6. Back after this on Michigan Sports Radio in the Sailor Zone.
Sports Hall of Fame celebrates the city's rich sports history by honoring prominent West Michigan athletes and those who have contributed greatly to sports on a local, state, or national level. A class is elected each year and then honored at an induction ceremony in the fall. They also prevent annual events in support of West Michigan athletics, and they raise funds to support local youth organizations and charities. Follow them on Facebook or check out the pictures and biographies of all 181 inductees at grshof.com.
Mosquitoes outnumber humans by like 1,000,000 to 1. So who are you giving your blood to? The humans or the mosquitoes? It's us versus them. And I think they're winning. So donate blood with Versity Blood Center of...
This week is fresh, all-natural, boneless New York strip for only $7.99 a pound. Visit shopfamilyfair.com for all the specials. Kickoff drives Kenyon back to the 5. He'll bust outside the numbers down the left sideline. Look out, he's got Tolley only to beat. And once again, the kicker for the 3rd straight kickoff makes a touchdown-saving tackle.
I don't know if it's too early, but these kickers saving these touchdowns might be the MVPs of this game thus far.
A 47-yard kick return by Bryce Kenyon. And again, it's not so much about the return, it's about the great blocking. There's been gaping alleys for these kick returners on the first 3 kickoffs after that TD drive.
Yeah, that King 24-yard touchdown pass. Davis, 4 plays, 42 yards. Again, starting in a great position on this drive, or on that last drive, 2 minutes, 35 seconds.
So 6.5 to go. Sailors go back to work on the offensive end. 1st and 10 at the 38. And for the 3rd time in this first quarter, South Christian will get whistled for an illegal start.
Game 1, week 1. Getting our feels, getting used to it, getting the cohesiveness, the repetition back. The standard operating procedure here.
Lest you think Danny Brown won't have something to complain about on the offensive side in the locker room at halftime.
He might disagree with that.
From the 44, 1st and 15. 2 receivers out to the near side, the left side. Now they send Burgess in motion, pitch it to him on a jet sweep. That's actually a pass. He'll try to get to the edge. He's turned upfield at the 43, wrestled to the ground by T.D. Davis. Picked up a yard or two back off that penalty.
Christian High blitzing both outside linebackers there, trying to get pressure. It's a really great play call, but great execution there by that Christian High defense.
For those who are into statistics, that actually goes as a pass. And if you're a quarterback, you like those because your completion rate will skyrocket with a lot of those types of plays. 2nd down and 13 now from the 42. Viss with 3 receivers to the wide side, the left side. Osterhaven, the running back. Viss pivots, rolls to his left, looks downfield. Now he'll tuck and go outside the numbers and slides down at the 37. Back to the original line of scrimmage, setting up 3rd down and 10. So, Bryce, if you're Kirk Sundberg and that defensive staff for Christian, how do you stop the legs of Carson Viss, who clearly wants to run as much as he throws?
Play sound defense. Run, stick to your keys, stick to your reads. Don't over pursue. Stay on your man, and don't let Viss do his thing. He's going to do his thing, so just contain it. That's all you got. That's all you can do here.
Cashin Van Solkema, number 22, is in the game at running back to the left hip of Carson Viss. Hard count. Viss back to throw. Max protection. He goes deep over the middle, and it is almost intercepted. Caught and dropped down at the 10. Intended for DeHaan. Right there for the coverage was Umari Talley, and he had a pick right there, but couldn't hang on. So it's 4th and 10, and what do you do here from the 37? Kick it or go? 4th and 9.
Looks like Danny's going to go for it. This is still on the field. I think the way these defenses have come out, I think you got to go for this. And
big play here with 5:02 to go in the first quarter. Grand Rapids Christian looking for a monumental stop in the early going. On 3rd down and 8 from the Christian 37. Viss with 2 receivers to each side, trying to perhaps draw the Eagles offside. Not going to do it. Danny Brown calls a timeout, and he'll talk it over.
2 things to point out here. The big defensive tackles for Grand Rapids Christian. Caleb Pugh, 6'3", 255. Cameron Morgan, 6'1", 270. It makes you wonder how much these South Christian offensive linemen are worried, a little bit jittery, a little anxious. Something to watch for.
Fans, new for 2024, Michigan Sports Radio has live coverage of Calvin University's inaugural football season. Catch all the action next Saturday afternoon, September 7th, when the Knights host Oberlin College at 12:30 on Michigan Sports Radio. Great to see some former Grand Rapids Christian and South Christian players that'll suit up and play a prominent role for Calvin next week. Jude Klunder, the wide receiver from Christian. Isaiah Luck, the right tackle. And, of course, South Christian's Chase Bradman with his eye on the starting quarterback spot for Calvin next week. That's Calvin football next Saturday afternoon on Michigan Sports Radio. Be sure to check out Michigan Sports Radio for a preview of all this year's high school teams across the OK Conference. Great analysis and capsules of each team. Check it out at MichiganSportsRadio.com. 4th and 7 from the 37-yard line. Viss with Cashin to his right. He'll roll to the right. Here comes the rush. He avoids Hutt. Throws over to the right sideline. He's got a man for the touchdown. That's Burgess on a 36-yard TD score.
That was an incredible play by Carson Viss there. Supposed to roll right. The blockers did not seal their block as he rolls right. He has to cut inside, dip his shoulder in the pocket, and just puts his front foot on the dime and delivers a strike on that 4th and long conversion.
Owen Burgess, the 6'1", 180-pound junior, with his first catch as a varsity player, and it goes for a touchdown.
That was a spectacular play by Carson Viss.
Wyatt Saul on to attempt the extra point. Out of the hold from Caleb Winicky. The kick is good. 4:54 to go. Sailor offense heating up. Grand Rapids Christian gets a chance when we come back on Michigan Sports Radio. South 14, Grand Rapids Christian 6.
Outnumber humans by like 1,000,000 to 1. So who are you giving your blood to? The humans or the mosquitoes. It's us versus them. And I think they're winning. So donate blood with Versity Blood Center of Michigan today.
Looking for a great place to buy a used truck or car? Check out Extreme Truck and Auto Center, located at 1098 O'Malley Drive in Coopersville. They have a huge selection of trucks, cars, vans, and SUVs. Stop by their lot or give them a call at 616-384-3777. You can check out their inventory at xtacenter.com.
Back at South Christian, the offensive fireworks are well underway. 3 offensive possessions, 3 touchdowns after that drive.
That beautiful 38-yard dime from Carson Viss to Burgess capped off a 4-play, 38-yard drive. Took a minute, 47 seconds here. And just an excellent start. I think those plays like that fourth down conversion, that's what makes the difference in games like this, where the defense is lacking.
Wyatt Saul will kick it deep to Tolley. Grabbed at the 2 by Aaron Golston. Angles to the middle of the field and is tripped up by Winicky at the 20. And that's where Christian will start, 1st and 10 from their 21. If you just joined us, South Christian took the opening kickoff, had a short field after a good return, moved in quickly for a score. A touchdown was made it 7-0, and Christian responded right down the field as well after a good kickoff return. They made it 7-6, and the Sailors have just extended that lead again to a 1-score margin on the 38-yard TD strike from Viss to Burgess.
This will be the first drive of the game as we're at 4 minutes, 48 seconds, taking place in their own territory.
Let's set that South Christian defense. We have not had a chance yet. The safety, we'll start from the backside. The safety is Winicky. Linebackers on 1st down. They give us to Tolley. Tries to sweep around the left end. He is crunched right at the 21-yard line. Rowan DeCam, he's a linebacker in the middle along with Grayson Hunderman. DeCam, 6'1", 200. Danny Brown really likes him. He's bulked up. Said he's just been flying around all August. He's on that inside. Secondary has Kenyon at a corner, along with Owen Burgess at the other corner. Charlie DeHaan, the strong safety. Winicky, the free safety. Other inside linebacker is Noah Klump. We'll set the front 4 in a moment. 2nd and 10. King play action. Lofts it down the left sideline. He's got a man. Aaron Golston makes the catch at the 30, and he will romp into the end zone for the Christian score.
A 79-yard strike in response. And King's going toe for toe with Carson Viss right now, and both quarterbacks looking excellent. But that was a great shot for that 79-yard touchdown pass that hits Aaron Golston.
He beat Bryce Kenyon on a little up and out move, or rather out and up move. And King, I thought for a second, overthrew the receiver, but he led him perfectly.
Dropped it in the bucket.
A little bit later in the second half, we'll bring in the 3rd member of our crew, Garrison Gaddy. We'll talk about, I think King reminds me early on here a little bit of Alec Wickstrom. Small quarterback, seems accurate with his throw, seems in control. Pretty impressive start for the young sophomore. 6 foot, 170 pounds for Grand Rapids Christian. Eagles will go for 2 here after they had the PAT blocked on the first TD. Tony Phillips will line up in the pistol. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. King takes the snap, looks to throw, guns it left corner. He's got his man, and that is a 2-point conversion for Aaron Golston.
That's
so with 3:57 to go, Golston with the touchdown and then the 2-point conversion. And we are tied, 14-14. Golston, get this, Bryce, 5'6", 140 pounds. And he is diminutive in size, but making his presence known here with some great speed and quickness.
Yep, he's given up a handful of inches to to Bryce Kenyon, who's 6 foot, 160 there. That's a matchup that Christian High seems to be exploiting right now.
Folks, the following companies are hiring in the area. Thanks to Rapid Line, Usher Tool and Die, Pridgeon and Clay, and Enterprise Tool. We can tell you that these companies are hiring. Check out the standings page on Michigan Sports Radio. Brought to you by Precision Metal Forming Association, letting you know some great jobs are available here in West Michigan at those 4 companies. Check it out on MichiganSportsRadio.com.
That 79-yard touchdown pass from King to Golston was only 2 plays. Nope, we got a whistle here.
Offside, I think, on illegal procedure on the kicking team. That's a rare call.
Well, they will reset and redo that kickoff with a bit of penalty drop back. So, again, that 79-yard pass, 2 plays, 79 yards, only 51 seconds taken off the clock. Christian High ties it up with that Colston touchdown catch.
Kirk Sundberg, the Christian coach, said that he thought his Eagles would be able to throw the ball a lot more than most teams in West Michigan. And so far, the sophomore quarterback, Charlie King, is proving his coach right. Here's a high end-over-end kick that'll bounce at the 25. Taken there by DeHaan, eludes a tackler at the 30, gets outside. He's still on his feet outside the numbers at the 39. Finally yanked down there by Will Hossig. 1st and 10 for the Sailors at their own 39 after that TD evened the score. Uccello's Restaurant has a restaurant near you. Go where great food and sports come together. Check them out at uccellosrestaurant.com, where they say, oh, that's sauce. A lot of sauce here on the offensive end tonight. Both teams lighting it up. Got to get that. We haven't had a chance to check the rest of the Christian High defense. The back end has T.D. Davis at safety, Noah Tolley, or rather Ben Tolley, the other safety. Yamari Tallies at a corner. On the field side, Nasir Zimmerman on the boundary side. Tony Phillips is the middle linebacker. 1st and 10 from the 40 for Viss. Van Solkelman's the running back to his left. Burgess in the slot left. They'll give it to him. No, fake it to him on a jet sweep. Viss right up the gut. Busts out of a tackle at the 41 and then lunges forward over the 45 to the 46. Davis Hutt retreated to make the stop. He's on that defensive front 4 along with Will Hossig, Trevor Moore, and Will Owens, the outside linebacker. Also in the middle, the big nose guard, Cameron Morgan, 6'1", 270. He wears number 75. He'll try to plug up the middle. Trevor Moore is a good one. Number 55, the 6'3", 205 senior. 2nd and 4 from the 46. Viss swings it out right flat to Burgess. Oh, he is just swallowed up at the 45. Lost a yard. Ty Damstra hit him first coming up from the secondary.
Ben Tony Phillips cleaning up the rest there, laying a big stick on Owen Burgess there.
Phillips, 6 foot, 225. He seems to have shaken off that first drive injury that caused him to limp a bit, but he looks pretty healthy. Good to see that. Another 3rd down. Sailors with a lot of 3rd downs already here in the first quarter. But with Carson Viss at the helm, well, they're all very, very surmountable. South Christian has Daniel Egler in the slot, number 10. Slot left, 3 receivers to the left. And a whistle and timeout? No, penalty, delay of game. So the 4th minor penalty now on South.
And that is a big one. That turns a 3rd and 5 into a 3rd and 10. That changes the play call here and makes this 3rd down conversion a lot less manageable.
Well, it's a position on the field where your 4th down try is a little more risky if South does not convert this 3rd down. Press coverage by the outside corners for Grand Rapids Christian. Eagles show pressure with 6 on the line. Now they send 5. Viss will keep it on the quarterback draw, and he's not going anywhere. Swung down at the line of scrimmage. Cameron Morgan got him first. Ty Damstra was there as well. That's a big stop. It's 4th and 9 now at the Sailor 41. Could we have our first defensive stop of the night?
The first punt, potentially. Looks to be so.
Indeed, Danny Brown sends in the punt team. That penalty is costly.
That was, yeah.
Changes, like you said, changes that play call and goes from 4th and 9, 4th and maybe a manageable 3 or 4, enough to take a gamble to 4th and 9. Viss will step back to his 29 to kick it away. Deep as Ben Tolley. Viss with a beautiful boot. Drives Tolley all the way back to the 10. Takes a nice neutral bounce and goes out of bounds at the 10-yard line.
What can that kid do? It was a great punt there. Flips the field. See how South Christian's defense can answer here.
A 50-yard boot by Carson Viss, and yeah, you cannot overstate the importance of the ability to flip the field. Just changes so much in high school football.
So looking at that Grand Rapids Christian defense there, what we're seeing here is number 22, that linebacker Phillips, playing that spy position there, and then on that drive, we saw Grand Rapids Christian's big defensive line keep contained, make some stops, and let Phillips just clean up and take care of what he needs to take care of. So South Christian will need to make adjustments here.
Eagles will start this series with Will Owens in the backfield in that pistol formation, replacing Phillips. King back to throw, quick in route complete to Ben Tolley at the 19 on a sliding grab. He picks up 8. Good throw.
South Christian corner is playing pretty off. I think it makes you wonder with that deep touchdown pass what that does, or if that's just the game plan today. Just keep everything in front of you. But there's a lot of cushion there.
The rest of that Sailor defense has Parker Hennigan, the big nose tackle in the middle, number 77, 6'3", 235-pounder. Colson Fenneman, number 6, is at the left tackle. Cam Velton in at the left defensive end. On 2nd and 2, they give it to Phillips, running to his left. Pushes the pile near the first down marker. They'll give it to him to the 23, and that's the way the first quarter will end. Colson Fenneman slid over to make the stop. We got a good one. After 1 on Michigan Sports Radio in the Sailor Zone, it is South Christian and Grand Rapids Christian, 2 old rivals, all deadlocked here at East Kentwood, 14-14. We'll step aside. Don't go away. The second quarter just around the corner.
Sports Hall of Fame celebrates the city's rich sports history by honoring prominent West Michigan athletes and those who have contributed greatly to sports on a local, state, or national level. A class is elected each year and then honored at an induction ceremony in the fall. They also prevent annual events in support of West Michigan athletics, and they raise funds to support local youth organizations and charities. Follow them on Facebook or check out the pictures and biographies of all 181 inductees at grshof.com.
Mosquitoes outnumber humans by like 1,000,000 to 1. So who are you giving your blood to? The humans or the mosquitoes? It's us versus them. And I think they're winning. So donate blood with Versity Blood Center of Michigan.
Do you have a distressed home you'd like to sell? Did you inherit a property you'd like to move on from with ease? Are you tired of being a landlord and it's just time to sell? For real, buys and sells, as is homes with a mission to create real estate upside for everyone. They're fast, they're fair, they're for real. Call or visit For Real today, 616-816-2028 or forrealhq.com. Back at East Kentwood, Bob Sack alongside former South Christian captain Bryce Sack, Garrison Gaddy, the third member of our team, ready to join us a little bit later. Tim Chenoweth on the stats, Todd Scrotenborough, our executive producer, our producer tonight. The ubiquitous Brock Conkle is our executive producer. We can't ever forget that, Michigan Sports Radio. Great to have you with us on a beautiful Friday night. Kick off your Labor Day weekend and a terrific football game here so far at East Kentwood. Eagles start their drive, 1st and 10 from the 23. King turns, gives to Phillips, pushes over left tackle, out over the 25, and he's a load all the way out to the 30-yard line. Boy, there's Tony Phillips. Chuck DeHaan met him first, and he just drove the pile for another 3 yards.
The kid runs hard. He runs hard. He's dead to right, 3-4 yard gain, turns that into a 6-yard gain there, 7-yard gain, and the kid's running hard. Great kick-out block there, too, by number 7, Brant Alice for Christian High, giving Phillips a lane to run.
Alice will flex out to the right. 2 receivers to the left. Charlie King looks over to the sideline for the play. Play clock down to 7. King, quick drop, throws right flat, a little too far for Brant Alice. Incomplete. Coverage there by Gavin Bauma. That might be the first incompletion that Charlie King has had.
That's correct. Yeah, just got word. That's the first one he's had. A little bit off center there, off target.
Good time for that call, though, Bryce. It was 2nd and 3. That's where you, for the first time, other than the TD pass, throw it downfield. And they did, knowing that they've got 3rd and 3. Will Owens in at running back. Golston split to the boundary side on the left. 2 receivers to the right. Big play here. 3rd down and 3. South Christian looking for a stop. Here comes the blitz. Here King gets rid of it, though. He finds Alice complete in the left flat at the 35, ridden out of bounds at the 36.
King took an absolute shot there by Ty Brinks, but stood true in the pocket, made the completion, and converted on a big 3rd down, a stop that South Christian really needed.
Caleb Winicky was there, but not before Alice, who stands 6'4", 210. He's a load. Think about this receiving core that Kirk Sundberg has for Charlie King to throw to. You've got some scat backs, you've got some fleet-footed wide receivers, and you got a big tight end as well. It's a really good array of targets for the sophomore quarterback. Now they go pistol with a strong side, send Golston in motion, throw it. Look out, here's a fumble. This ball should be loose, and it is Oh, I thought that was a fumble. That ball was definitely thrown behind the receiver, but the official calls it incomplete, and the South Christian bench is livid, and rightfully so. If that were instant replay in high school football, that'd be South Christian football right here.
From our vantage point, that definitely looked like that was going backwards. You even saw King pause as he was throwing, almost saying, "You're not ahead of me. If this doesn't complete, that's a fumble." And I think that was, and I think Grand Rapids Christian caught a very fortuitous break there.
They did, and I think Charlie King would want to have that one back as he threw the ball sort of behind the receiver as opposed to out in front of him. At any rate, big incompletion results in 2nd and 10 with 10.5 minutes to go here in the second quarter, tied at 14. Phillips back in the game in the running back position in the pistol. 3 receivers to the wide side. King straight back to throw. Has time. Lofts it deep down the right side. Up for grabs. Caught by T.D. Davis at the 26 in front of DeHaan. And Owen Burgess. Great grab for a 40-yard pass from King to T.D. Davis.
T.D. Davis climbs the ladder there to go up, make that catch. Burgess thought he was there. DeHaan thought he was there. I thought they were in a position to at least break it up. But T.D. Davis comes up and makes a huge catch.
Get this. This is Davis's first football game. He did not play football until this year. Pretty good as Phillips takes the handoff and finds room around the right side, turns the corner, finally carried out of bounds at the 18. But that's another 1st down. Owen Burgess ushered him out, but not before the big fella moves the chains. T.D. Davis, interesting story, did not play football for Grand Rapids Christian last year, was part of that basketball team that made it all the way to the state finals. Had a key game against South Christian in the regional finals last year to propel Eric Taylor's team onto the quarters.
That completion there, sorry to cut you off there, Bob. That completion there was King's 157th yard of this game passing, and we're only 2 minutes and some change into the second quarter.
They'll give it to Phillips again on 1st and 10, but Tyler Brinks says no as he corrals Phillips for a 1-yard loss. He busted through the blocker. They call that, Bryce, block destruction, and Ty Brinks did it on that play.
He did, no doubt about it.
Lost 3 back to the 19. So with 9:22 to go, first time really that Charlie King's been behind the chains. He'll get that back, though, because jumping offside on the right side of that defensive line.
That was Elijah Balsitas
for South Christian. And that is the 5th, Tim Chenoweth tells us, the 5th 5-yard penalty on the Sailors. And a big one because it turns 2nd and 12 into 2nd and 7. Ball to 14. Brant Alice, number 7, slot left. T.D. Davis also slot left. Golston wide left. King will turn, gives to Phillips. Big hole over the right side. Busts through a tackle to 5 and then romps into the end zone for the touchdown. Tony Phillips picking them up and laying them down on that 14-yard TD run. And Grand Rapids Christian leads South Christian 20-14 here early in the second quarter.
The senior Phillips ran with an absolute purpose there, breaking a couple tackles there. I thought South Christian would at least stop Phillips before getting in the end zone, and you're not going to stop him on that run tonight here.
The right side of that line, Dane Fitzgibbon, along with Caleb Pugh. Pugh, a 6'3", 255-pound sophomore, opening the hole there. And then Phillips got to the second level, and as you said, that's a truck coming through, and they couldn't corral him. Tally on for the extra point. This time the snap is good, so is the hold. He boots it through. And with 3 minutes gone here in the second quarter, for the first time in years, Grand Rapids Christian leads South Christian. We'll take a break on the other side. Sailors go back to work on offense, 21-14 GRC.
You ever thought about a career in metal manufacturing? Today, careers in robotics, product development, engineering, and IT are just some of the few of the outstanding careers available. There are hundreds of businesses in West Michigan looking for people just like you and are willing to provide the training you need. Go to youarehired.pma.org or click on the PMA logo on the Michigan Sports Radio homepage. There's an opportunity for a lifelong career, and it's in your hands.
South Christian's beaten the Eagles 7 of the last 8 times. Grand Rapids Christian has not won in this series since 2019. And tonight, this Grand Rapids Christian Eagles team looks like they have come to play. A little pooch kick by Ben Tolley, taken at the 25. Still on his feet is a unnumbered South Christian Sailor, and a flag comes in late. I think they got a little, check that, it was Isaac Osterhaven grabbing the kick. 34, Isaac Osterhaven did grab it, danced his way up the field, and then a late hit. It's going to probably tack on another 15 after that go-ahead TD drive.
And that feels like that's becoming the difference right now, is these 2 long Grand Rapids Christian touchdown drives. That 89-yard, 10-play drive, following that long 79-yard touchdown drive prior to that. That seems to be the difference here. South Christian started their field position, besides their starting field position on scoring drives, at the 45 and 38. That's been the difference here.
South coach Danny Brown said that he was concerned about teams, Bryce, that could run the football on the Sailors. And Phillips has shown that he'll take advantage of a hole and pick up some yards. But if I'm Danny, I'm concerned now that you're giving up yardage both through the air and on the ground.
You get the run game going, especially with a big, talented back like Phillips, that can pound the defense, pound the morale, and then open up, of course, the rest of the offense on the outside. And that's been happening.
Sailors start on the plus side here. 1st and 10 from the 44, 4-man front. They shift, and a whistle, and another illegal procedure. That little shift by the Christian High defensive line got South Christian to respond, and it's another 5-yard walk-off.
There's a comment I made a little bit earlier that Garrison pointed out here, is that those defensive tackles are big, and you throw in things like those little shifts and those jitter. This offensive line might be a bit on their heels.
1st and 15 from the 49. Viss out of the gun with Osterhaven to his right. Burgess right slot. He'll give it to Osterhaven. Makes a nice jump cut to the left. Gets outside the numbers and then is grabbed from behind and hauled down at the 41. He picked up 9. Good defensive play by Yamari Talley. Osterhaven, the 6-foot, 185-pound sophomore with a really good vision to find the hole and then bounce it out to the left.
Feels like that's one of the first times, or maybe the first few times, that South Christian's attacked this defense with Osterhaven up the middle. A new wrinkle to this offense here, and see what comes from it.
Picked up 7, 2nd and 8 from the 42. This against that four-man front. The outside backers cheat up. They'll send 5. Osterhaven's got it again. Nice hole over the left side. Drags the tackler down to the 37. Hanging on for dear life to make the stop was Davis Hutt. And now it's the manageable 3rd and 4. So South goes to the ground game with the running back here to pick up a good chunk of those 1st and 15 yards.
And knowing Danny Brown, you know this is 4-down territory. So you think you can pick up a yard. If you're not going to get the first down, get a yard or 2. Set yourself up for a good short 4th down conversion.
3 receivers to the wide side, the field side. Osterhaven to the left of this. On 3rd down and a long 3 from the 37. Viss out of the gun. He'll keep it all the way, running to his left. Jukes Phillips at the 35 and then is pushed out of bounds by Zimmerman at the 31. That's enough for the first down with 7:05 to go. South Christian keeps the drive alive here as they look to equalize the score. From the 32. I think both teams have done a nice job trying to establish the run and doing it pretty effectively. From the 32 now, Viss sends Burgess in motion, left to right. 2-step drop, straight back to throw. Slings it right flat to Burgess. Tries to juke Davis, does. And then is pushed out of bounds by Talley at the 23 with help from Davis. Near a first down.
It was a nice read by Viss there. He was looking deep, looking for his receiver, and then it was almost really a check down there to the motion man on offense, and let your athletes go out there and make plays.
Well, he's been quiet since the touchdown catch that opened the scoring is Ty Brinks. He has not been targeted since that first score on the fade route on the very first series. 2nd and 1. See if they go upstairs here on this down empty backfield for Viss. He'll keep it. Breaks a tackle from Trevor Moore and Hutt. Flag down. Should be a hold. Viss is going to scamper to the end zone. He'll get there, but I think it's coming back.
Yeah, that play's likely coming back, but my goodness, are you kidding me, Carson Viss? That was spectacular. He's a magician back there, breaking tackles. Again, finding something out of nothing, but I think you're right. This one might be coming back.
10-yard penalty, and there, Bryce, as good as Viss is with his ability to dance and wiggle and find the hole, you wonder how that forces a lineman to sustain their block. And sometimes to sustain a block, you got to grab a little bit, and that may have been part of the reason. Not to mention good defensive pursuit by the Eagles. At any rate, the 10-yard penalty from the point of infraction moves the ball back to the 30. And it'll bring up 2nd and a long 7.
And I don't like that. I don't really love that play call on that 2nd and short. I almost wonder. We brought up Ty Brinks there. Maybe we take a shot. Maybe you go over the top, try to get something there, put the defense off the hills. There's been a lot of short runs, short passes, and that was an opportunity to do that. But now, 2nd and 7.
Brinks a tight end to the left side. Ball on the right hash. Burgess in motion right to left. Now loops back around to the right. They'll fake to him. Viss to throw. Here comes the rush. They're going to get him back at the 35. Nobody open downfield. Good coverage by the Eagles, and it was Trevor Moore that wrapped him up and got help also from Caleb Pugh, and all of a sudden they go from 2nd and 1 to 3rd and 13 now at the 35.
The exact opposite of what you're looking to accomplish there. Great coverage downfield.
Man coverage by the Eagles, and Talley on the field side and Zimmerman on the boundary side did a great job locking up their receivers. Carson had no one to throw, and the pocket just collapsed. Big play here, 3rd and 13. South probably wants to get some of it back to set up a more manageable 4th down. Another flag and another penalty. That's the 7th. South. No, they got the timeout right before the whistle with 5:42 to go. Play clock was winding down, and
that's South Christian. Thankfully, Danny Brown got that timeout off because South Christian already has 7 penalties, 40 yards. Not the winning recipe.
Again, a lot of games last night around the West Michigan area as the season opened on Thursday night. A lot of games tonight still. We'll tell you about those in a minute. Look to get some scores later on from Tim Chenoweth. But last night, a few games I thought of interest. Were interesting to see the results. The big one, of course, up in Rockford. Brock Conkle on Michigan Sports Radio had the call where the Rams held on to beat Detroit Cass Tech before a full house at Ted Carlson Stadium, 30-23. Great game between a powerhouse on the west side and a true yearly perennial power on the east side. 30-23, Rockford wins it. Another game of interest, I thought, that was the way Forest Hills Eastern just dismantled Montague, 48-7. Eastern with a team that has their quarterback back this year after missing last year. Casey Thompson returns, and that team is going to be tough to beat this year, Forest Hills Eastern. Other scores, Forest Hills Central and the OK Gold knocked off Reese Puffer 21-10. Zeeland East all over Union 36-7, and Unity Christian upended Whitehall. 3rd and 13 from the 35. 4-man front for the Eagles. Now they'll blitz Phillips. A lot of space into the vacated area where Viss takes off and right up the middle gets near the first down marker. And that time, Tony Phillips came on the blitz. Carson Viss saw him coming, dodged him to the left, and no one was there in that middle linebacker spot.
You took the words right out of my mouth. That's exactly what happened. They're surprising on 3rd and long that Phillips would blitz there when all game he's been spying. And Carson made him pay. And that was the perfect play call, perfect situation for South Christian because now you're in 4th and short. And, of course, they're going to go for it.
4th and a long, 2. Big play here. South down by 7. They need to pick up 3 yards to keep this drive alive. Viss will try the hard count against that 4-man front. Phillips edges up. They fake to Osterhaven. Quick slant over the middle. It's knocked away by Davis. It was thrown a little bit behind Owen Burgess on that quick in route. Davis was right there on the coverage, incomplete, and Christian High will take over on downs.
Tremendous break on the ball there by T.D. Davis. It looked like he was finding his way open, but as you mentioned, Carson Viss just underthrew it just a tad, but can't undersell the play that Davis made there to stop that 4th down conversion.
So with 4:56 to go, all of a sudden this becomes an important drive for South Christian because Grand Rapids Christian will get the second half kickoff. We have a long way to go still here in the second quarter, but if you're South, you don't want to fall behind by 2 scores and be on the short end of the kickoff to start the second half. From the 24, 1st and 10 for Charlie King. Against the 5-man front, time to throw. He guns it right side behind the receiver and almost intercepting it. For South was Noah Klump. He stepped in front of Brant Alls. I don't think King ever saw Klump retreat because he threw it right to him.
And that's been open much of this day thus far, that pass. And Klump made a nice play reading that and got to come up with the pick.
Klump, the 6-foot, 155-pound junior, read it perfectly. He's in there at inside linebacker along with Rowan DeCam. 2nd and 10 from the 24. Clock at 4:52 here in the first half. 21-14, South Christian trailing Grand Rapids Christian. Phillips takes the handoff from King. Dances to the left side. Rowan DeCam got him by the ankles, and then Phillips just fell forward to the 26 for maybe a couple. Sets up 3rd down and 8.
Nice pursuit there by Klump, cutting Phillips back inside, making up a little bit for that drop pick, but keeping Phillips from bouncing outside there. Big 3rd down.
Sailors rotate defensive lineman here in this passing situation. 3 receivers wide to the left. Big play here. 3rd down and 9 from the 26. False start. The first one against Grand Rapids Christian will move the Eagles back. Like you said earlier, first game.
First game. This Christian High's 3rd penalty of the game. First game jitters. But that turns this 3rd down into a 3rd and 14. That's 10. We got 10 penalties combined in this game.
Sailor secondary with a lot of cushion. Here comes the blitz. They set up the screen to Phillips. Left numbers. He got away from Brinks at the 20. Breaks another tackle. Still on his feet, spinning out over the 25 to the 29. Well short of the first down. Finally corralled by Parker Hennigan. Late flag. What's this going to be? This will be a critical call. Good call, though, there on 3rd and 14. Set up the screen.
Ref's talking to Caleb Winecki.
Let Phillips do his thing on that screen as he ran through traffic. Personal foul, South Christian.
Wow.
Takes away a 4th down punting situation and turns it into a 1st and 10 for GRC at their own 43.
That's a play you're going to circle later in this game. We got a lot of game left, no doubt about it, but that is one where you're going to say, we had them stopped, 3rd and 7, likely going to punt from their own territory, from the 30, and just these penalties. This is uncharacteristic for Danny Brown's South Christian teams.
From the 43, 1st and 10. Phillips in the backfield takes the handoff from King, bowls his way over the left side, still on his feet, dragging Hunderman with him down to the 49. He got 8 on the play. Tony Phillips is a load. He is, and look out, he's down right now.
I would say, too, he just ran through a Ty Brinks tackle right there. Ty Brinks had him at the line, and he just busted through that. But now he's on the ground in pain. Let's hope he's all right. He's been solid today. My goodness.
We'll step aside. When we return, 2nd down and 4 for the Eagles. They lead South Christian 21-14, 3.5 to go here in the second quarter on Michigan Sports Radio and the Sailor Zone.
You ever thought about a career in metal manufacturing? Today, careers in robotics, product development, engineering, and IT are just some of the few of the outstanding careers available. There are hundreds of businesses in West Michigan looking for people just like you and are willing to provide the training you need. Go to youarehired.pma.org or click on the PMA logo on the Michigan Sports Radio homepage. There's an opportunity for a lifelong career, and it's in your hands.
Sports Hall of Fame celebrates the city's rich sports history by honoring prominent West Michigan athletes and those who have contributed greatly to sports on a local, state, or national level. A class is elected each year and then honored at an induction ceremony in the fall. They also prevent annual events in support of West Michigan athletics, and they raise funds to support local youth organizations and charities. Follow them on Facebook or check out the pictures and biographies of all 181 inductees at grshof.com.
Mosquitoes outnumber humans by like 1,000,000 to 1. So who are you giving your blood to? The humans or the mosquitoes? It's us versus them. And I think they're winning. So donate blood with Versity Blood Center of Michigan.
Well, good news. Tony Phillips off to the sideline under his own power. Good to see. Will Owens checks in for him at that running back spot after that hard 7-yard run by the Grand Rapids Christian senior. Owens, number 9, 5'8", 180. He'll take the handoff running left. Pushed down by Colson Fenema near the 1st down marker. He may have fell forward, and he did, picking up the 1st down. 3 minutes to go, and now, Bryce, if you're Kirk Sundberg, you like the drive pace here. You don't want to score too early with Carson Viss at the helm for South.
No, you don't. You don't. This is a perfect situation right now for Grand Rapids Christian. You got the ball on opposing 45 with 2 minutes, 45 seconds left. Just milk this clock, try to get to the end zone before the half.
Ball on the left hash, 3 receivers out to the right. Play action, King rolls right. He's got a man open outside the numbers of the 39. It's Ben Tolley, breaks a tackle and then lunges near the 1st down marker to the 35. Rowan DeCam came over to drop him. Well-designed and well-executed play, taking advantage of what you said earlier, that soft coverage by South's corners.
And even with Phillips out of the game, you're still watching run. You're still looking for up the middle. They've been going up the middle with their running backs. And when you can do that and you can get positive yards from that, that opens up plays just like that to roll out to the right with that soft coverage and convert.
Eagles with all 3 timeouts left. So Kirk Sundberg can really manage the clock here as we wind down the first half. 1st down, Owens behind the blocking of the right side. Lunges for a couple to the 38. Rowan DeCam upended him there. Picked up maybe 2.
I like this Rowan DeCam. He's a nice backer. I mean, he's all over the field. He's getting in. He's getting out of blocks, making plays.
6'1", 200-pound senior. Danny Brown said he's just a lot bigger and a lot faster coming into this season after getting spot time in the championship run last year.
Phillips is back in the game.
2nd and 9. He'll stay in to block for King. Back to throw. Nobody open. King avoids the rush. Now he's got a lot of room down the right sideline. 25-20, and finally ushered out of bounds at the 16. Boy, the young quarterback did a great job sensing the pocket collapsing and then just sort of squeaking out for an 18-yard scamper.
Heads-up play there by King. I've been very impressed with this kid as well. Thought South Christian had him in the backfield. Makes a play. And again, this is exactly what Grand Rapids Christian wants right now. Just slow it down. You got a minute 20 left. Ball on the 15.
Whistle and a timeout by South Christian. That's their final timeout. It's probably the best downfield coverage that South has had on a pass play, that last one. And plus combined with a rush, no chance really for King to check down. And I just thought he did a great job of sort of retreating out of the collapsing pocket and then scooting to the right side. 21-14. If you just joined us, it's been a good one. Sailors took the opening kickoff. Carson Viss found Tyler Brinks in the right corner of an end zone for a quick score to start the game. Christian responded, though, moving right down the field. Missing the extra point after their touchdown to make it 7-6 on the ensuing drive. South Christian would score again. This one, another pass from from Viss to Burgess. But the last 14 points have been rattled off by Grand Rapids Christian, and maybe more significantly in the last quarter, it's been Grand Rapids Christian's defense that have come up with some stops to turn this football game into sort of a surprise first half.
Here's a stat line for you. Sophomore quarterback right now. King, 8 for 11, 172 for 2 TDs.
Not bad for a debut.
I would say so.
1st and 10. The give is to Phillips. He'll bounce it to the right side, gets around the corner. Tripped up at the 9-yard line by Caleb Winicky. Tony Phillips showing a little bit of agility there as well as, again, great seal block on the right side, though. That right side of that offensive line for Christian has made some really strong blocks, particularly on Ty Brinks when he's lined up as an edge rusher on the left side.
Yeah, that right tackle, Trevor Moore,
55
has played really well with these ends.
6-yard gain. Phillips has got it again over the right side. Tries to get out of the fumble or the tackle from Brinks, but he lost the ball, coughed it up. And Grand Rapids South Christian recovers. Brinks made the tackle, and it was Noah Klump recovering the football. And how about that? A big stop for the Sailors in the red zone with 39 seconds to go.
Heads-up play there by Noah Klump. He dropped the pick early on in this drive. He makes up for it here. But now, let's see South Christian 39 seconds.
Ty Brinks really made the play. He was the one who wrapped up Tony Phillips. And let's be honest, there hasn't been much success for South wrapping up Phillips on the first point of contact. Brinks did it there and not only stopped the big running back, but also stripped the football. Now with 39 seconds to go, Christian will take a timeout. And so here's the situation. 39 seconds to go in the second quarter. Sailors have no timeouts left. I think Grand Rapids Christian spent a timeout there to sort of gather themselves to say, hey, let's settle down. We're okay. We still lead this game. We'll get the second half kickoff. Yeah, that was a mistake, but this is a critical drive. Our defense has to rise up.
If you notice there, Phillips was not in the game at linebacker. So it looks like he's being attended to on the sideline potentially, maybe some cramps getting stretched out there. But if he's off the field, is that something you attack? And I think you're right, though. If you're Grand Rapids Christian, nothing behind you, no big plays, keep everything in front of you. 39 seconds here. If you're South Christian, no timeouts. Guess let Carson go to work.
Bryce, I've been watching this series for a long time. You and Garrison have played in this series before, and every year, Labor Day weekend, these two teams meet, and every year there are cramps. And oftentimes, over the years, it has been the team that can avoid the cramps and avoid the attrition of injuries that hangs on to win. That'll be something we'll keep an eye on in the second half. 1st and 10 for Carson Viss. Sets up shop at the 12-yard line. Back to throw, fires it right flat, complete to Burgess. He's near the first down marker, run out of bounds by Davis. Gain 9, 2nd and 1, but that's probably immaterial. The clock's a bigger story here with 33 seconds to go.
Yep, your Christian's defense, Grand Rapids Christian's defense, you give them that all day long. 6 seconds run off the clock for 7 yards.
Stay with us at halftime. The West Michigan Wellness Group halftime show. I'll tell you about the good things in the first half, and also set you up for the halftime show. This rolls right, finds Burgess again. Short left flat, complete. Run out of bounds at the 23, and good pass prevent defense here by Christian on this long field with just 28 seconds to go.
Nice seal block there by the running back. Osterhaven there as well, but again, how much is it worth right now with the clock down to 28 seconds?
Look for the Sailors to go downfield here on this 1st and 10 from the 23. 2 receivers to each side, ball at the left hash. Man coverage now they go to zone for Grand Rapids Christian. Vista throw, he's flushed out. He'll keep it, reverses his field to the right, cuts back to the left, now weaves his way back to the right, along the 30 to the 35, and finally escorted out of bounds at the 36 by Davis, but he chewed up 14 seconds on that play. Moves the chains, picks up the first down, and now South just needs to get another 15 or 20 yards to have the chance for a Hail Mary. Great coverage downfield by Grand Rapids Christian.
Yeah, great coverage too, but he did have, it looked like he had Colson Fenham open downfield, but like you said, a lot of clock was taken off, or a lot of time was taken off the clock with that scramble.
Eagles have Cam Renz into the game now, number 19. He's a sophomore, and with 14 seconds to go, Kirk Sundberg and Reuben Riley will spend another timeout. They know how critical these 14 seconds are. And if you think back to last year, we watched the Sailors all year last year, and then, of course, in the magical run of 2022, so many times late in the second quarter when it appeared that it was the time of the game where you'd probably run out the clock, Jake DeHaan or Carson Viss would manufacture just an electrifying drive or play in the final 30 or 40 seconds, and it usually provided sort of just a morale defeater for the opposing team because they just don't think they're going to give up a TD that late in the quarter, but somehow Carson figured out how to get the Sailors to the end zone.
And while we don't want to get ahead of ourselves, you're right. Grand Rapids Christian was in scoring position about, 20 seconds ago, and now South Christian is moving the ball at their own 35.
Probably 2, maybe 3 plays at the most. It's a umbrella zone here, cover 2 that Grand Rapids Christian deploys against the South Christian offense. Viss to throw. Osterhaven stays into block. Again, good coverage. Viss fires it deep over the middle. He's got a man. Kenyon at the 25, and he will sprint to the end zone for the touchdown.
You called it. You called that right there. You said he's going to make a play. South Christian had 2 tight ends on the right side, meaning they had the 2 receivers on the other side. One of them being Bryce Kenyon. And he, sure enough, gets open, and Viss finds him for an absolute rocket down the field to put the Sailors in a position to tie this thing up going into halftime. Are you kidding me?
That was a missile. He just stepped up in the pocket. Tally, the defensive back, froze for just a minute, and Kenyon momentarily was able to get behind him, and Viss just lasered it to Bryce Kenyon down at the 25. He eluded a tackler and
Viss bought time, too, in that pocket. He stepped up, evaded the rush, and made,
Here's a bad snap. Trouble with the snap for Owen Burgess. And the extra point is no good with 4 seconds to go. Keep it right here for the ensuing kickoff. Who knows what will happen? 21-20 here, and what a game it has been here in this first half. Not a classic, a lot of penalties. Key fumble there, but boy, it's been exciting and everything we hope for here in this season opener. Don't forget the West Michigan Wellness Group halftime show's coming up. Stay with us. We'll go to East Lansing where John Ross is standing by with This Week in High School Sports. Always a good feature from the MHSAA. He'll be joined by Aaron Meckes, the head of school here at South Christian. Get you updated on everything going on in the South Christian system and talk a little bit about the good, exciting things happening at South. That's all coming up on the West Michigan Wellness Group halftime show. Straight ahead on Michigan Sports Radio and the Sailor Zone. 21-20, 4 seconds to go. Sailors appeared to be falling behind by 2 scores with 39 seconds to go in the quarter, but a big strip by Tyler Brinks to force a fumble that was pounced on by Noah Klump.
That last 4 minutes of that half, if you go back and you think about it, South Christian had to stop and eat Grams Christian's territory. Costly personal foul penalty. Christian High drives down the field, gets in the red zone, fumbles the ball. Carson Viss works his magic.
High pooch kick.
Oh,
look
my
out.
goodness.
South Christian recovers the kick.
2 seconds left.
The ball should have been fair caught by Brant Alice. He retreated and then did not come up for it. And alertly, the Sailors jumped on it. Grand Rapids Christians looking at each other like, you were supposed to recover. No, you were. And meanwhile, South pounces on it at the 30. And with 2 seconds to go, Carson Viss has one more shot to get in the end zone here on a very eventful final 60 seconds of the first half.
And we saw that last throw. He's going to have no issue getting that ball there. The playbook's open right now.
If I were Christian, I'd take another timeout here. This could be the play of the game in terms of.
And do we know South Christian's kicking situation? If you have this is a 48-yard kick, might be a bit out of range for South Christian's kicker. And Danny Brown agrees and going to keep the offense on the field.
I think I'd put my chips on Carson Viss from this point. Wyatt Saul may have a nice leg, but number 5's got an arm and a leg and somehow the moxie to figure out how to get to the end zone. Ball right at the 30. 2 receivers wide to the left, 2 to the short side. Brinks in the slot, and indeed, Christian High will take a timeout. They know how important this play is. I would submit to you at this point, this is the ball game right here. That's a little of a stark statement to make, but I think this is the kind of play that can just totally affect the psyche of a young team, and that's what Kirk Sundberg's got on that far sideline.
Yeah, I mean, again, it'd be debilitating to go into halftime if you're Grand Rapids Christian down a touchdown, down 6 points. And South Christian has this opportunity right now to do that. Ball on Christian High's 30. Opportunity to score here. You got 4 seconds. Probably only time for one play. Can't wait to see what Danny Brown dials up here.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the Eagles play it too. Garrison Gaddy points out that in that pre-snap setup, their defense really was not in a prevent defense. So the question is, do you put everybody back put 4 guys back at the 5-yard line, or do you play your normal coverage?
You think, if South tries to run something underneath, but
the safeties are back at the 15, so they're a little deeper than usual. Corners playing off the receivers. Here we go. Viss to throw. He buys time, rolls to his right. He'll loft it towards the end zone. Up for grabs. Tyler Brinks got it for the touchdown. Tyler Brinks. Carson Viss bought time, found Brinks on the right side. They threw it up for grabs, and just like the fade route in the first half, the size advantage of Brinks makes the play, and it's 26-21.
This is unbelievable. If you're South Christian right now, you were fearful of going down 2 scores before halftime, and we have 0 seconds left on this clock going into halftime, and you have the opportunity to take a 6-point lead. Are you kidding me?
Not only going down 2 scores, but kicking the ball to Christian to start the third quarter. But that's all for naught because Wyatt Saul has a chance to tack on the extra point, which he does, and that is the way a wild first half ends. 27-21. South Christian on top. We'll step aside, take a break, catch our breath. When we return, we'll have a scoring recap of that first half and get you ready for the West Michigan Wellness Group halftime show coming up on Michigan Sports Radio and the Sailor Zone.
To everyone out there who loves Culver's,
The feeling is mutual. Everything's made fresh.
Everything.
everything.
It's our pleasure.
This is me and my happy place.
I wouldn't trade our Culvers for any other restaurant.
Culvers.
Yay! We love our guests.
Love.
Love.
As much as our guests love us.
This has been my happy place.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Don't just find yourself, make yourself. Start businesses, build bridges, save lives, raise a whole city. This is your future, so take it and move all of us forward.
Are you looking for a new career? Aetna Supply is hiring. Aetna Supply is Michigan's #1 plumber wholesaler, servicing local customers for over 50 years. They offer great benefits, a 401k with company match, quarterly bonuses, and no Sundays. Once again, check them out at aetnasupply.com/careers or click on their logo on the Michigan Sports Radio homepage.
Stock up this Labor Day with amazing savings at your neighborhood family fair. With Card, enjoy cool sips of select varieties of Pepsi or 7-Up products. Buy 2, get 3 free. Beat the heat with 6 to 12 count Outshine bars, 2 for $8. And save on items down every aisle during our Buy 5, Save 5 sale on items like select varieties of Nabisco Ritz or snack crackers, select varieties of Farmland sliced bacon, or Kool-Aid, Tang, Arizona, Mio, Country Time, or Crystal Light drink mixes. Family Fair in your neighborhood.
Welcome inside to the West Michigan Wellness Group halftime show. It's at intermission here at East Kentwood's Falcon Stadium. South Christian on top 27-21 by virtue of a wild final minute of the first half. Give you a quick scoring summary here to catch you up on what has been a very entertaining opening game to the 2024 season. Sailors took the opening kickoff, scored right away on a drive that covered 45 yards in 7 plays. Carson Viss to Ty Brinks for 13 yards and a touchdown, made it 7-0. Grand Rapids Christian answered with a 42-yard drive, capped off by a 24-yard swing pass from Charlie King to T.D. Davis. That made it 7-6 after the missed extra point. South quickly moved down again in 4 plays and 38 yards. After a good kickoff return, Viss found Burgess open for a touchdown over the middle. That made it 14-6. Grand Rapids Christian tied it at 14 late in the first quarter on a 79-yard 2-play drive, a 79-yard touchdown pass from King to Aaron Golston. Tied at 14. That's the way the first quarter ended, and the shootout was on between these two old rivals. Second quarter settled down a little bit at the early going. Christian took the lead with the game's drive of the night, the Paris Motors drive of the first half. 10 plays, 89 yards, 5 minutes and 19 seconds. Tony Phillips on a 14-yard run gave the Eagles the lead for the first time, frankly, in years over South Christian, 21-10, or rather 21-14. That's the way the score stayed till late in the second quarter. Christian was driving again. They had the ball down at the inside the red zone. Tyler Brinks made a great tackle on Tony Phillips inside the 10. The ball squirted loose. Noah Klump pounced on it. South took over from their own 13 with just 39 seconds to go. Viss would find, 4 plays later, would find Bryce Kenyon on a 65-yard touchdown strike over the middle. That made it 21-20 after the missed extra point. The ensuing kickoff was recovered by South Christian as Christian let the ball bounce on an ill-advised decision from the 30-yard line. Viss had 1 play, and sure enough, he struck gold, lofted a beautiful pitch and catch to Ty Brinks for the second time tonight in the right corner of the end zone to make it 27-21. That's the way the first half ended. Wild first half. We'll get you caught up on the stats a little bit later as the West Michigan Wellness Group halftime show marches on. When we return, we'll send you to East Lansing. John Ross is standing by with This Week in High School Sports. A little bit later, I'll be back. Get a chance to talk with Aaron Meckes from South Christian. That's all ahead, and as well as the first half stats. You're listening and watching South Christian football on Michigan Sports Radio and the Sailor Zone.
67 horsepower, candy red, 8 cylinders.
Mosquitoes outnumber humans by like 1,000,000 to 1. So who are you giving your blood to? The humans or the mosquitoes? It's us versus them. And I think they're winning. So donate blood with Versity Blood Center of Michigan today.
Looking for a great place to buy a used truck or car? Check out Extreme Truck and Auto Center, located at 1098 O'Malley Drive in Coopersville. They have a huge selection of trucks, cars, vans, and SUVs. Stop by their lot or give them a call at 616-384-3777. You can check out their inventory at xtacenter.com.
Jets has been making the best Detroit-style pizza on the planet for over 40 years because we've always been committed to quality, like hand-pressed dough, fresh mozzarella, and sauce made from Mama Jet's secret family recipe, all baked to perfection for the thickest golden crunch. So go ahead, build your own Detroit-style pizza or order one of our specialties, like the all-meaty or Jet 10. Jets, better because it has to be.
To everyone out there who loves Culver's,
The feeling is mutual. Everything's made fresh.
Everything. Everything.
It's our pleasure.
This is me and my happy place.
I wouldn't trade our Culver's for any other restaurant.
Culver's.
We love our guests.
Love.
Love.
As much as our guests love us.
This is me and my happy place.
from Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Yeah.
MHSAA athletes come back from Paris with medals and a celebration a century in the making. I'm John Ross, and this is This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid. Welcome back to another school year and another season of highlighting stories from across the state. The 2024-25 school year is a special one here at the MHSAA. It is our 100th year, a century of celebrating school sports. All year long, we'll highlight the people, places, and things that have helped shape the MHSAA. Rivalries, records, top players, we'll look back at it all, both at MHSAA.com and on our social media pages. For example, on August 26, 2017, Dylan Gordon had a 99-yard run for North Farmington, tied for the longest in MHSAA history. On August 29, 2003, Ben Baragray of Gaylord had 7 quarterback sacks in a game against Ogama Heights. And on August 30th, 2010, the highest scoring tied soccer game happened twice. Berrien Springs and Buchanan tied at 6, as did Coloma and Cassopolis. Every day this school year, we'll highlight records from the past 100 years. And each Friday is Photo Friday. We'll be showing off historical photos from our files. And every week we'll be highlighting something that has helped make the MHSAA what it is today. So check us out online and on social to see how we're celebrating a century of high school sports. It's time for Game Balls, when we highlight a trio of standout performances from the past week. Traverse City St. Francis's Grace Slocum, she shot a 2-under 142 to win the Bob Lover Classic by a whopping 14 strokes. Bay City John Glenn's Trent Phillips, he netted the game winner in a 1-0 victory over Bay City Western in the Bay County Boys Soccer Championship. Earlier in the day, Phillips scored his first career goal. And at Jennison's Seth Connor, the senior was the fastest at the Benzie Pete Moss Invite. Jennison was also the best cross-country team in the Big School Boys Division.
For high school seniors, the matchup of the year isn't on the field. It's actually online. That's right. When you fill out the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid, you could also be eligible for thousands of dollars in additional money from the Michigan Achievement Scholarship. Yep, nearly 80% of students who fill out the FAFSA may be eligible. Now that's a matchup we can all root for. Get started today at michigan.gov/achievement. The Michigan Achievement Scholarship. It's a game changer.
Our weekly Be the Referee feature takes a look at the fine art of officiating with the MHSAA's Director of Officiating Services, Sam Davis.
In football, it's often said that holding happens on every play. But does it? When an offensive player uses their hands or arms to illegally restrain a defensive player, that's holding. This typically happens when blockers grab or pull defensive players away from their path, impeding their ability to make a play. The penalty is 10 yards from the previous spot. Defensive players can be flagged for holding as well. That's also a 10-yard penalty and an automatic first down for the offense. An example of defensive holding is when a cornerback grabs a receiver to slow him down before the ball is thrown. If that same contact happens while the pass is in the air, then it's pass interference. Defensive pass interference is a 15-yard penalty.
Thanks, Sam. Now more than ever, we need officials. If you're interested, go to the MHSAA website now to register. The MHSAA was well represented at the 2024 Summer Olympics in Paris. 15 athletes who played an MHSAA sport participated, with 3 bringing home a medal. Grand Blanc's Grant Fisher earned 2 bronze medals in the 5,000 and 10,000 meter races. He's the first American to medal in both events at the same Olympics. Caledonia's Elena Olsen was on the bronze medal-winning women's rugby team. And Devin Booker, who played basketball at Granville his freshman year, was on the gold medal-winning men's basketball team. Heath Baldwin, Adam Kuhn, Freddie Crittenden, Aaron Cummings, Andrew Evans, Hobbs Kessler, Grace Stark, and Abby Tamer were all also in London for Team USA. 4 other countries were represented by an MHSAA athlete. Cindy Ophelia Sember ran for Great Britain. Miles Amin wrestled for San Marino. Alex Rose threw the discus for Samoa. And Udodi Anwuzurike ran for Nigeria. Congrats to all who qualified, and we hope to see even more familiar faces at the 2028 Summer Games in Los Angeles. You've been listening to This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid, a production of the MHSAA Network. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Ross, and we'll be back next week.
Something for everyone on Pizza Ranch's legendary buffet. Our pizza buffet features hot, cheesy goodness, slice after slice after slice. Try our signature pizzas or request your favorite combination with our Buffet Your Way option, and you'll get the first piece. With endless possibilities, you're sure to find your ranch favorites. Everyone will agree that cactus bread is the perfect dessert to end your meal. For legendary food that everyone loves, there's so much to love at Pizza Ranch.
Let's take a look. As I mentioned over the phone, wear and tear.
Oh man, they're never gonna buy this thing. Wear and tear? Well, there's the coffee stain on the seat. It needs new brakes. All 4 wheels squeak. The passenger door doesn't even have a handle. Not to mention that one time I went to my uncle's farm and backed up into a truck full of shit.
Should about cover it. You're all set.
Oh.
Don't overthink it. Seller to Weller.
Somebody once said life moves pretty fast, and that's exactly how we like it. Want to build something? Great. Start businesses, build bridges, raise a whole city. Future in fighting crime? Want to save lives? Do it all here. But you've got to go forward fast. Because today is now, and tomorrow is soon. And to get ahead of the game, you got to get ahead of your time. This is your future, so take it and move all of us forward.
Car Center is an automotive collision repair company with multiple shops throughout West Michigan.
Our goal is simple: to bring hospitality to the collision repair industry.
You can find us online at carcentermi.com to find the location nearest to you. Because at Car Center, fixing cars is our job.
But helping people, that's our business.
Stock up this Labor Day with amazing savings at your neighborhood family fair. With Card, enjoy cool sips of select varieties of Pepsi or 7-Up products. Buy 2, get 3 free. Beat the heat with 6 to 12 count Outshine bars, 2 for $8. And save on items down every aisle during our Buy 5, Save 5 sale on items like select varieties of Nabisco Ritz or snack crackers, select varieties of Farmland sliced bacon, or Kool-Aid, Tang, Arizona, Mio, Country Time, or Crystal Light drink mixes. Family fair in your neighborhood.
Welcome back to East Kentwood High School. We're at halftime here on the West Michigan Wellness Group halftime show. It is 27-21 at the break. Grand Rapids South Christian with a flurry of points at the end to jump on top of Grand Rapids Christian here at the break. Bob Sack, good to be back with you here at halftime, joined by Aaron Meckes, the head of school at South, and what a great first half. And it just goes to show there is no place better on a Friday night than a high school football stadium between two wonderful schools, and just exemplifying the mission of what high school sports is all about today, isn't it?
Absolutely. Beautiful night, great crowd, 2 really great communities out here supporting their teams, and
you start to already begin to see the ways in which these kids are going to grow through these opportunities and experiences, and you can't understate the learning and the growing that's happening, and it's pretty fun to get out there and compete and hopefully come out on the right side too. So.
I would say Kirk Sundberg, the head coach of Christian High, has got a great teaching experience for his Eagles right now after a crazy end of the first half, which we'll talk about later. Meanwhile, start of the football season means summer's over. A lot has happened at South Christian in the summer of 24. Give us a rundown of some of the new things that if people are around the school or involved with the school that they would see this year.
Yeah, a lot of excitement, a lot of new students. We've eclipsed now 700 students in the high school this year, the first time in over a decade, and we've got 4 new faces. We've got a new assistant principal, a couple new science teachers. We've got a new art teacher, and then we've got a couple new classes. We're teaching actually officiating. We've got about 40 kids learning to be referees in one of their PE classes, and then we've got a new class called Adulting 101. Learn all those things that maybe you should have learned in school but didn't, and we're covering those there. And so some new things, lots of excitement, high energy. It's been a good first 2 weeks, Bob.
It is an absolute awesome vibe to be at South Christian. Just the leadership and the staff. You talk about the enrollment increase, which is just wonderful to hear. That also means you're running into some facility constraints.
We are.
You have this beautiful new school that's less than a decade old, and yet you're talking about adding on to it.
Yeah, 6 years ago we built this building with a classroom capacity for 700. Today we're at 705, and the senior class is kind of our last small class, and so we're going to be 760, 770 maybe a year from now. And so working hard on the Faithfully Forward campaign, spending some time thinking about what our next steps are. Is we're just going to continue to grow. You begin to look down the line even a little further, and it's not too long before we're 800, 900 students. So lots of great things happening in Christian education on the south side of Grand Rapids. Really exciting.
Aaron Meckus, the head of school at South Christian, joining us here at halftime. And that growth, any particular aspect that you would identify as the reason for the wonderful growth?
Yeah, I think there's a whole host of things. There's obviously a lot of population growth down here in Gaines Township and Byron Township, and I think it speaks to the quality of the product that we're putting out there, but also that all those elementary schools are putting out there too. It's really exciting to see young families picking Christian education. I know there's about 240 kindergartners among our four traditional elementary schools this year, and so it is just really exciting that young families are picking Christian education on the south side of Grand Rapids.
Aaron, great job to you and your staff. Krista, the principal, and keep up the super work, and we'll look forward to catching up with you again down the road. And in the meantime, enjoy what ought to be a fantastic second half. Have a happy Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, we'll see you.
Aaron Meck is the head of school here at South Christian. We'll take a quick break, and when we return, the West Michigan Wellness Group halftime show concludes. Get you ready for the third quarter. South Christian on top, 27-21.
Sports Hall of Fame celebrates the city's rich sports history by honoring prominent West Michigan athletes and those who have contributed greatly to sports on a local, state, or national level. A class is elected each year and then honored at an induction ceremony in the fall. They also prevent annual events in support of West Michigan athletics, and they raise funds to support local youth organizations and charities. Follow them on Facebook or check out the pictures and biographies of all 181 inductees at grshof.com.
Mosquitoes outnumber humans by like 1,000,000 to 1. So who are you giving your blood to? The humans or the mosquitoes? It's us versus them. And I think they're winning. So donate blood with Versity Blood Center of Michigan.
You ever thought about a career in metal manufacturing? Today, careers in robotics, product development, engineering, and IT are just some of the few of the outstanding careers available. There are hundreds of businesses in West Michigan looking for people just like you and are willing to provide the training you need. Go to youarehired.pma.org or click on the PMA logo on the Michigan Sports Radio homepage. There's an opportunity for a lifelong career, and it's in your hands.
Back at East Kentwood, Bob Sack along with former South Christian captain Bryce Sack as we get set to bring in the third quarter of this 27-21 football game. Sailors on top after a flurry of scoring at the end of the second quarter, which we'll recap a little bit later. But Bryce, first half stats. Tim Chenoweth earning his pay keep today with the calculations.
No doubt about that. I mean, I'm still catching my breath here, but pretty even game. Obviously, you said 27-21 South Christian. Pretty much tied 9-8 when it comes to first downs. South Christian leading 91 yards, 75 yards for Grand Rapids Christian. When it comes to rushing yards, 243 total yards for the South Christian Sailors, 252 for the Grand Rapids Christian Eagles. The turnover, the single turnover of the game, is the big differentiator. That fumble that was recovered by Noah Klump at the end of end of the first half. There was the big difference. And then the other thing is the penalties there as well. 8 penalties for South, 3 for Grand Rapids Christian.
Kickoff from Saul. This time is grabbed by Brant Alice at the 25. Fights his way up over the 35 to the 36. Gavin Bauma made the stop, and that's where Grand Rapids Christian will start. Bryce, if you are Kirk Sundberg, what did you say to your team at halftime after being ahead 21-14 on the verge of going ahead 28-14, and now you find yourself down 27-21?
Gentlemen, take a breath. Take a breather. The recipe is there. The strategy was working. It was effective. What we were doing was working. Just really unfortunate plays there. Put them behind you. Time to start the second half. You're only down a touchdown.
Eagles start at the 35. Will Owens, the back of the pistol. Whistle and a flag. Illegal procedure to start the second half on Christian. That's not the way they wanted to begin. The Eagles were 1-8 last year, 0-7 in the white. Their only victory was a non-conference win over Fruitport, 37-22. They were outscored on an average game of 46-25. So they proved they could put up points as they put up 42 against South in the opener, but they just couldn't stop people, and that's been the tale here tonight already. 1st and 15 from the 30. King out of the pistol, gives to Owens. He has room over the right side. Squirts his way out over the 35 to the 36. Chopped down there by Caleb Winicky. Back to the original line of scrimmage, 2nd and a long 9.
You talked about defense just there. And the thing is, the first half, Christian High's defense looked really solid.
At times.
When South scored at the beginning of the game, it was because they had great field position from the kick return. And other than that, they had stops, and they were playing well up until the last, 29 seconds.
King to throw. He can't find a receiver. He'll run for his life to the right. Slung down right at the line of scrimmage along the sidelines by Colson Fenema. May have lost a foot or two, so 3rd and 10. Good coverage downfield by that South Christian secondary. And the first minute here of this third quarter. Gavin Bauma comes off the field as that outside linebacker. He's replaced by Brady Van Nord, 160-pound junior at the right edge.
Interesting note, Tony Phillips not in the game to start the second half at all.
3 receivers to the wide side. King to throw, has time, lofts it right sideline. Oh, beautiful defensive play at the 45 to knock it away was Owen Burgess. Ben Tolley was open, but Burgess, textbook coverage along the boundary.
South Christian playing that off coverage there, and that time it worked when you have a 3rd and long, 3rd and 11. Grand Rapids Christian was attacking the sticks there on that comeback route, and as you mentioned, Burgess read it well, and a beautiful PBU, pass breakup.
So the first punt of the game for Grand Rapids Christian. They turned it over on the fumble late in the first half. And then, of course, didn't handle the kickoff. That's been the extent of South's ability to stop the Eagles, but this time, another flag and a delay of game. The penalties continue to mount now for both teams.
That's 2 penalties to start the second half. Grand Rapids Christian only had 3 in the first 13. We're looking at 13 total penalties in this week 1 bout.
Bryce, that's the 3 and out here for the Eagles. What's bigger here, the 3 and out for Christian's offense or South's defense?
I think you touched on it perfectly at the end of that first half.
Low snap to Ben Tolley. He rushes to get it away and then pops up a punt.
You made that comment there real quick at the end of the second half. You said, what can this do to the morale of this Grand Rapids Christian High football team? We just saw Grand Rapids Christian's offense completely stutter out. 2 penalties, going backwards, and then to cap it all off on this drive, low snap and just an absolutely horrendous punt there due to the low snap. That was a great call out at the end of that first half.
And now you give Carson Viss 1st and 10 on the plus side at the 33. And he is a hot quarterback right now, to say the least. Yeah. And that'll be the case all year long in all likelihood. Osterhaven set to his right. Offset pistol. 4-man front for the Eagles. A play-action pass. Viss guns it over the middle to Burgess. Again, the throw was low. Damstra was in the coverage, but Carson hit as he threw.
Caleb Pugh, the defensive lineman, sophomore, got to the quarterback there and made him pay, and, of course, caused that errant throw. You haven't seen Carson get hit too much today. 1 sack. He's obviously taking some hits, running the ball, but not a ton of shots like we just saw right there.
2nd down and 10 from the 33. Ball at the left hash. Burgess in motion wide to the right. Viss takes the snap, looks for him, now slings it over the middle. He's got Kenyon at the 10, wide open. He beat the defender but couldn't hang on. How about that sidearm throw or a 3/4 throw from Carson? Just a quick whip. And Kenyon had beaten the defender on a post route at the 10 but could not hold the ball.
Yeah, I think he was almost surprised at how fast that ball came to him and how well that was thrown given the pressure. Kenyon threw the hand up and said he was open, and I think he was just more startled by the accuracy of that pass. This has looked sharp today. Is that the biggest dust statement you've heard on air?
Well, other than a couple of those in routes, those quick slant routes have been the only balls that he really hasn't thrown with accuracy. Other than that, he's looked very sharp. 2 receivers to each side on 3rd and 10. Here comes the rush. He'll scamper out of it, but cannot get away this time as Trevor Moore, number 55, wrapped them up at the 34. Actually lost a yard, so it's 4th and 11, and this is 4-down territory. Big play here for Christian. They've really become stout on this drive, and a stop here would probably inject a little bit of life into them.
I was just about to say exactly that. If Carson Vitz hits Bryce Kenyon on that touchdown pass, is that the nail in the coffin for this Grand Rapids Christian team? And, yeah, you're absolutely right. Getting the stop here can bring new life.
4th and 11 at the 34. The South Christian big student section on their feet. Out of the gun. Viss straight back to throw. Has time. Looking for a receiver. Now runs to his right. Cocks his arm. Fires it downfield. In and out of the hands of Brinks at the 12-yard line along the right sideline. And the Eagles dodge a bullet. They'll take over on downs. That pass was there. I think Brinks just couldn't control it as he was bracketed by the defenders, and it fell off his hands.
A good breakup by that Christian High secondary, but that was a catchable ball, no doubt about it. Viss put it on a rope, and Brink couldn't quite make the play.
The thing I've noticed about Carson Viss here in the first 2+ quarters compared to last year, he is much more patient in the pocket, and he'll as he escapes, he's looking downfield to throw before he looks to run like he did last year. And so that's a definite quarterback maturation point, really. 1st and 10 for the Eagles at their own 33 after the stop. Will Owens in at running back, takes the handoff and wiggles his way over the right side for 3 out to the 36.
I think the key in this game right now is Phillips not being in this game. He's on the sideline. You probably can't see from the vantage point here, but he is on the sideline. Looks like he's continuously stretching. Don't know if it's cramps. He still has his pads on, does not have his helmet on, but he's been the bell cow all game with that rushing attack up the middle, setting up the offense, and the passing on the outside.
2nd and 8 from the 36. King, quick pass to Davis, left flat, got him, breaks a tackle out of Kenyon at the 35, and then scoots up the left sideline and over the 40 to the 43 or 42. This sets up a big 3rd down and 2 with 9 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, be careful on that last pass, too. That was another one that was a little behind him. Something that King's got to watch out for here, because at this point in the game, you cannot afford any mishaps such as that.
Well, it slows up your receiver a little bit, too. And the hard count by King gets the Sailors' Grant Jansen to jump on that left side, and there's an automatic 1st down. Danny Brown takes off the headset and just exasperatingly.
I mean, that is 9 penalties for this South Christian football team. 60 yards total penalties. I saw down there Grant Jansen was calling for something. It looks like center maybe was moving the ball a little bit, but not enough to draw a penalty on Christian Hine. First down.
From the 47, Alice, the H-back to the left. Play action. King to throw. Now he's flushed out. He'll roll to his right. Flag on the play. Should be a holding call. He finds Davis wide open on underneath route at the 40 of South Christian, but this one's probably coming back.
We got the Sailor down on their sideline 20. Looks like some cramping. They actually double covered. They had safety help over the top on Aaron Golston. That play going down the sideline and caused King to roll out to the right.
Still waiting for the official signal here on this flag. Here it comes. And it is indeed a hold on the Eagles. So the completed pass will be negated. Penalty will move it back. Make it second and long for Grand Rapids Christian. South Christian leads this all-time series 31-23. You know, we're talking about the turnovers, the big fumble by Phillips. Last year's game had 3 South Christian interceptions, and that was really the difference in a 66-42 win. Christian's got to play a clean game to have a shot here, and up until the last 39 seconds of the first half, they had done so. First down and 20 for Charlie King. Straight back to throw. Guns it left, flat, complete to Golston. Jukes a tackler at the 43. Sprints into South Christian's territory at the 42. The ball was knocked loose, but they say he'll be down. Colson Fenema retreated to make the tackle. How about that move on that 21-yard gain by Aaron Golston?
Shifty there. Quick comeback route, 5 yards. Again, let him make the play, take advantage of that soft cushion. Enough room to really be able to make a read after the catch and scamper for a big gain, big 21-yard gain.
Golston, 5'6", 140 pounds. He is a little dude, but boy, he's got some elusiveness. 8:45 to go here in the third quarter. 27-21, South Christian leading, but the Eagles are driving. First and 10. They give us to Owens. Bounces it out on the left side. Cut down there at the 39 by Noah Klump on a good form tackle. Picked up about 3. Second and 7.
Makes you wonder if that's going to be the attack here with Phillips out of the game here. Speed and space on the outside. Get some of these wide receivers, take advantage of that soft coverage, get them the ball, and let them make plays like we just saw Golston there. He's at 100 yards now. 2 catches for 100 yards.
Boy, that's where they were so effective in the first half with the power game of Phillips and the perimeter passing game. On second and 7, King will send everybody to the right and keep it on a quarterback sweep around the left. Colson Fenema chopped him down at the 37. Sets up third down and 5. And probably 4-down territory for the Eagles at this point. 7:37 to go here in the third quarter. Down by 6.
Been a nice answer for the Eagles here. Get that stop, moving the ball methodically, just executing their offense, running their plays, and converting when they need to.
Brant Alice is that tight end, and I look for him to receive a pass, but I think his number one job tonight is try to neutralize Tyler Brinks. Sailors show blitz. 5-man front, Golston in motion left to right. King will turn, fake to him, now flips to Golston on that underneath route. First down.
Speed and space. That kid is quick. He is shifty with the ball. I think that's got to be your go-to right now. It looks like Tony Phillips is back in the game here, so that's something to watch.
Aaron Golston he's a tough cover.
Tough cover.
Sailors have, I think, some big, solid corners, but they're just not as quick as the very rabbit-like number 2. First and 10 again for the Eagles. 6:40 to go. Nice drive. Building here for Grand Rapids Christian, trying to regain the lead. King will throw, flare it out to Davis. He's got a blocker ahead. Flag comes in, though. They're going to get Golston for a hold on Bryce Kenyon as Davis romped into the end zone down the left sideline, but Aaron Golston trying to block Bryce Kenyon, who quite a bit bigger than he, and he threw him to the ground. 2 flags come in, and that was 10-yard penalty.
Yeah, Colson's got to let go there. He had him. I think he had the block. I think it was enough to potentially score the touchdown. But of course, you get that big gain. You just gotta let go there. Speed and space.
The holding call was downfield, so it's only in a sense, a 2-yard walk-off because the hold occurred at the 22-yard line. So instead of being first and 20, it's first and 12.
It's 4 penalties now on Grand Rapids Christian in the second half. 7 total for playing pretty clean the first half, like you said, up until the last 39 seconds.
Eagles content to, I think, burn some clock on this drive, too. Charlie King doing a nice job with the pace of the drive. Very deliberate at the line. Phillips takes the handoff, fights up the middle. Grayson Hunderman wrapped him around the knees and was able to bring him to the ground at the 29. Picked up 3, 2nd down and 9. Whistle and a timeout.
So I got blood.
Rowan to Cam, oh yeah.
Yeah, some blood on his arm.
Left elbow, so that'll get Isaac Osterhaven into the game at linebacker.
So with Cam out of this game, Christian High going to go after Osterhaven?
We'll see. Brinks is on that side too, and Brinks has been one guy who's been able to contain Tony Phillips. Play action to Phillips. King rolls right, throws deep right corner at the 5-yard line, sideline. Out of bounds, too far for Tyler Davis. Good coverage over there by Bryce Kenyon. Had topside help from Chuck DeHaan as well, and it's now 3rd and 11. A lot of play action for Grand Rapids Christian. Most, probably 50% of the time, they're with a play fake to Owens or Phillips.
They see something getting King out to the right, and I don't care who you are, any quarterback. That's a tough throw, rolling to your right, throwing that corner toss, and couldn't quite complete that.
5:23 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Time-consuming drive. Now in jeopardy for Grand Rapids Christian. Another whistle. And timeout by Kirk Sundberg. We'll keep it right here. Ask if you have a distressed home you'd like to sell. Or did you inherit a property you'd like to move on from with ease? Or are you tired of a landlord and it's just time to sell? For Real buys and sells as is homes with a mission to create real estate upside for everyone. They're fast, they're fair, they are for real. Call or visit For Real today, 616-816-2028 or forrealhq.com. Don't forget, Michigan Sports Radio has live coverage of Calvin University's inaugural football season. Catch all the action beginning next Saturday afternoon, September 7th, when the Knights host Oberlin College at a sold-out Grand Rapids Christian Stadium. Calvin University football all season long on Michigan Sports Radio, and that'll send me there, Bryce, and turn it over to you, South Christian football, to you and Garrison for the better part of this season. Looking forward to your calls on Friday nights. We'll get Garrison here on in a little bit here in the 4th quarter, and you guys will do a great job describing what ought to be a fantastic schedule. I think every game is going to be so entertaining this year against a tough schedule with a quarterback like Carson Viss that can keep you in any game.
You kind of just buried the lead on an announcement I think is going to disappoint a lot of regular listeners. And we'll come back to this for sure. But, yeah, the schedule here is going to be awesome. You and I have called games that haven't been great, and be shocked and hard-pressed to see if there's going to be many of those this upcoming season for the Sailors.
Big play here, 3rd and 11 from the 30. King out of the gun, straight back to throw, lobs it over to a wide-open Golston underneath at the 25. He'll lose a tackler and then coughs up the football at the 15, but they're going to call him down at the 15. Good tackle by Bryce Kenyon, dislodged the football. All right, Bryce, in deference to my good friend Garrison Gaddy, I'm going to have to admit something here that Christian's doing really well. This reminds me a little bit of some of those Michigan-Ohio State games back in the late 18s
1800s?
Yeah.
That's how I like to remember it.
Yeah, right. When Ohio State had Michigan's number with those underneath crossing routes, and that's really what Christian's doing here. They're spreading Golston out, taking advantage of that soft coverage, and sneaking him underneath a cleared-out middle, and he's wide open.
I don't think I understand that first reference to the college football you're talking about, but yes, you are absolutely right. It's the speed and space, letting the guys make the plays. It looked like they ran with those receivers. We have a delay of game here.
So after that first down catch down to the 15 by Golston, another penalty on Grand Rapids Christian for delay of game. There's a part of me, as much as Kirk Sundberg doesn't like the penalties, I'm not sure he's really struggling with the slow pace, though. I think this is exactly Christian's. It's a small roster. Fatigue is a factor tonight. There's a degree where he's glad this game has sort of slowed down a bit.
That's an excellent point. You've seen a few guys go down for cramping, and yeah, this is the pace you want to play at.
1st and 15 from the 20. Phillips has a hole over the right side, busts it into the second level, and then is finally wrestled to the ground by Kenyon at the 10. He picked up 10 on that off-tackle play. Danny Brown said last week that he was concerned about teams that could run the ball inside the tackles against South Christian, and that's couple that with a big back that is Tony Phillips. He said, I feel like we can get better as the year wears on with that, but from the outset, he's a bit prophetic in that sense that that's what Christian's doing. Give Phillips 8 on the last gain down to the 12. It's 2nd down and 7 at the 12. Play action, King to throw. Here comes the rush, and they're going to get him back at the 20. Tyler Briggs came in from the right. Colson Fenema from the left. And they collapsed on Charlie King back at the 20-yard line. There's the best defensive play of the night other than the strip of the fumble in the first half. And who else but Tyler Brinks wreaking havoc in the backfield.
While we got a sailor down on the ground there, yeah, that's one of the risks you get when you run those play action passes. Leaves the quarterback a bit vulnerable, and he got smacked there. Grand Rapids Christian, 3 for 6 on 3rd downs here.
Bryce, in the pregame, Sobey Company pregame, we talked to Zach Blackwire about Ty Brinks and just the emergence of him this year, not this calendar year, this summer. His attendance at camps, the significant interest he's drawn from colleges, and look at his stat line tonight. A blocked extra point, which could loom large, 2 touchdown catches on 50-50 balls, a forced fumble in the red zone, and now a sack. I mean, talk about a guy who won't come off the field. Now you know why.
And all back, like you said, all back-breaking plays for the opposing team. And he's come up big all day long. And it's been a great matchup, seeing him go head-to-head in the holes with Tony Phillips and take on these blockers. It's been a fun kid to watch here.
3rd down and 17 as this 6-minute drive continues for Grand Rapids Christian. What a march for the Eagles here. Really answered the bell in the 3rd quarter. Back to throw on 3rd and 17. A lot of time for King. Here comes the rush. He eludes Fenema. Now finds space along the right sideline. Scampers down the boundary to the 7. Near a first down. Run out of bounds by a chasing Grayson Hunderman.
It looks like he's just shy of the 1st down, though.
Yeah, the down marker flipped. They're going to give him. They're going to give him the first down at the 7-yard line. No, it is 4th down. 4th and 2. He needed to get to the 4.5. They pushed him out at about the 6. And how about this for a big play? Grand Rapids Christian will go for it with 3:23 to go here in the 3rd. They trail by 6. Phillips out of the pistol behind King. They'll give it to Phillips. A whistle before the snap and a timeout by South Christian.
Grand Rapids Christian timeout, but yeah.
No, it was South. Defense called it, I believe. Let's see what the official signals. I thought he pointed towards South Christian on that timeout.
Either way, it's not interesting, though. They were giving the ball to Phillips. That ball was going to 22. And
no doubt.
He was going to let him make the play.
And I think, Bryce, most of his success has been running right. That right side of that offensive line has been really good at sealing. And also, he runs right. Guess who he's running away from when he runs right? Tyler Brinks.
Tyler Brinks,
who's mainly been lined up on the offensive left side.
I'll tell you this, though. This is a 6-minute drive. This is one that the Grand Rapids Christian Eagles, again, methodically getting downfield. If you walk away with this without any points, we've said the word backbreaking a few times tonight. Put that one in that column. It makes you think here. So Christian High's got to walk away with points here.
Timeout. Chance to tell you that the following companies are hiring in your area: Rapid Line, Usher Tool and Die, Pridgeon and Clay, and Enterprise Tool. All looking to hire. Check them out on the standings page of MichiganSportsRadio.com. Brought to you by the Precision Metal Forming Association. Big play here, 4th and 2 from the 6.5-yard line. Phillips, the running back. Golston split wide to the left. Ben Tolley wide to the right. 4th down and 2, strong side, the right side. They'll run to the right side. Phillips, he's hit behind the line, spins out of a tackle. He will not get it. They'll mark it at the 5, a yard shy. Rowan DeCam came up to stick him, and they keep Tony Phillips from that first down.
Rowan DeCam, we said his name a lot today, and sure enough, he puts his helmet right in there and stops the big back on a crucial 4th down play after a 6-minute and some change drive. This junior is special here.
3:16 to go, and Carson Viss will take over on his own 6, nursing a 27-21 lead here in the third quarter.
That was a big stop. Oh, that was a big stop. But Christian High's out of this. You get a stop here, get the ball back, pin South Christian deep.
You talk about the psychology of sports. Most of these guys playing defense right now are just on the offense. They had their drive stifled, turn it around in a matter of seconds to say, we got to come up big. And 1st and 10, Viss will keep up the middle. He's got a hole over the right guard, busts it out into the second level, cuts towards the sideline at the 20, and then slides down in front of Ben Tolley at the 27. 20-yard scamper by Carson Viss. Another thing he's doing this year, Bryce, that he didn't do last year is sliding. Last year he would lower his shoulder, and I think Danny's told him, we can't lose you. You have to be behind the center, and that extra 3 yards you could gain is not worth it.
Nope. Go down, son. Go down.
They get breathing room out to the 27. Against the 4-man front, Will Owens, the left defensive end. They'll rush hard. They give us to Osterhaven. Works the left side. Stopped at the 31 by Trevor Moore. Boy, he's had a great game, number 55.
Trevor Moore's been active on both sides of the ball. Anytime you can say that about a tackle, that's big praise. I like South Christian getting the ball to Osterhaven here, running up the middle, giving Carson Viss a bit of relief running the ball. And again, you get the running game going up the middle, that opens up the rest of the offense.
Caleb Pugh also has played a fine game at that nose tackle spot. Davis Hutt, defensive tackle, in there now is on 2nd down. Viss will keep it. Darts his way over the left side. He's got a 1st down. Tolley meets him at the 44 and drops him there. But once again, a 1st down for South off the legs of Carson Viss before Tolley made the stop.
So as we hit this 2-minute mark in this third quarter, we look at a Grand Rapids Christian team that has very few seniors on it compared to other rosters in West Michigan in their conference. A lot of sophomores on this team as well. As we approach this fourth quarter mark, what type of psyche? You talked about this game being cerebral, guys switching sides of the ball. How is that going to play out? How's it going to show itself?
Not to mention the fatigue factor. 1st and 10 from the 44. Viss will keep it all the way on the left side. Again, cuts it back. He's got space. On the right to the 30, the 25, the 20, the 10, 5, and he drags Tolley all the way down to, Golston all the way down to the 2. What a run by Carson Viss. 6'4", 190 pounds. And this
looks like wind maybe got knocked out of him, landed on the ball.
And the steam that he comes at those small defensive backs is just too much to handle.
53-yard scamper there. Designed run up the middle there by Carson Viss. Back-breaking for this Grand Rapids Christian defense. And I think he was in. I thought from our vantage point it looked like he cleared the pylon before stepping out. Umpires feel otherwise. Spotting this ball at the 1-yard line.
This remains in the game. Colson Fenema now the running back to his left. Two receivers out wide to the right. This will turn, give it to Fenema. He plows into the end zone. Touchdown, South Christian. Colson Fenema with a 1-yard TD plunge. And the Sailors open the lead to 13, now 12, the biggest margin of the day.
Nice cap off there by number 6, Colson Fenema there, but that drive was all number 5. Carson Viss there, doing it with his legs, putting potentially a nail here.
Good blocking by the left side of that line. Parker Hennigan, the left guard, Ben Buter, the left tackle. Cam Veltman, the center as well, opening a hole for Fenema to barrel his way into the end zone. Sailors will go for 2 here to increase that lead back to 14.
This is 10 for 15, 177 yards, 4 touchdowns responsible for.
Back to throw on the 2-point conversion. Drills it over the middle to an open Chuck DeHaan. The back of the end zone for the 2-point conversion. Great ball fake by Viss there, too. Good play action, and then just absolutely rifled that ball into the end zone. We'll take a break. 1:20 to go in the third quarter. South Christian up by 14, 35-21 over the Eagles on Michigan Sports Radio and the Sailor Zone.
You ever thought about a career in metal manufacturing? Today, careers in robotics, product development, engineering, and IT are just some of the few of the outstanding careers available. There are hundreds of businesses in West Michigan looking for people just like you and are willing to provide the training you need. Go to youarehired.pma.org or click on the PMA logo on the Michigan Sports Radio homepage. There's an opportunity for a lifelong career, and it's in your hands.
Well, they're having fun here at East Kentwood after South Christian sustains a beautiful and quick drive to open up a 2-score lead.
That's right. Fenema with that 1-yard carry, getting in the end zone there following a couple long runs by Carson Viss there. 4-yard, 94-yard drive. 4-play, 94-yard drive here for the South Christian Sailors, capped off by a 2-point conversion.
End over end kickoff taken by Tolley at the 18 and probes his way up the middle of the field out to the 43. Another good kickoff return. Noah Klump finally upended him at the 42, and that's where the Eagles will start. They've proven they can move the ball, so they're not out of it yet.
No, it's those two turnovers.
Yeah, it is a game that's not really indicative of its score in terms of how close it's been right now. 35-21 with 1:12 to go here in the third quarter. Sailors led at halftime 27-21 after being down 21-14 late in the second quarter. Made a big turnover to score and then recovered a kickoff. Quick pass over the middle again, that underneath crossing route. Golston outruns Gavin Bauma to the first down marker to the 48. Gets out of bounds with 1:05 to go. So if you're South Christian, how do you stop that? That play is, they've worked that play successfully probably 5 or 6 times tonight. How do you stop that underneath route?
I mean, at this point of the game, how much are you really focusing on that? Keep everything in front of you. Beyond that, double team, get 2 guys on him.
So you're saying let him do it, and then bend, but don't break as a defense in the red zone. 1st and 10, the handoff to Phillips. Oh, there's a nice tackle. Guess who, Bryce?
Rowan DeCam. Kid has been everywhere. Guards pulled in that play. That should have been a big run there. He dodges the tackle, dips his shoulder, makes the play here. Junior linebackers coming in big today.
Loss of 2 to Phillips.
My apologies. Rowan DeCam is a senior. I see 11. You think 11th grade, 12th grade. He's a senior. Hand up, DeCam family. That's my bad.
2nd and 12. Here comes the rush, and Branks will dump Charlie King back at the 41, and now it just feels like Sailors starting to pin their ears back a little bit and come after these Eagles. That's the way the third quarter is going to end. When we come back, it'll be 3rd and long for Grand Rapids Christian as South tries to lay some wood here on the Eagles heading into the fourth quarter. We've played 3. South Christian 35, Christian 21 on Michigan Sports Radio and the Sailor Zone.
Those outnumber humans by like 1,000,000 to 1. So who are you giving your blood to? The humans or the mosquitoes? It's us versus them. And I think they're winning. So donate blood with Versity Blood Center of Michigan today.
Looking for a great place to buy a used truck or car? Check out Extreme Truck and Auto Center, located at 1098 O'Malley Drive in Coopersville. They have a huge selection of trucks, cars, vans, and SUVs. Stop by their lot or give them a call at 616-384-3777. You can check out their inventory at xtacenter.com.
Little Sweet Caroline here on 3rd and long as we start the fourth quarter. Grand Rapids Christian, 3rd and 21. King back to throw out of the gun. Lofts it left side. Underthrew his receiver. Tolley at the midfield stripe. That'll bring up 4th down and likely send the kicking team out for Grand Rapids Christian. Bob Sack alongside former Southwest Christian captain Bryce Sack. Soon to be joined by Garrison Gaddy here shortly as we get his thoughts. And on 4th and 21, South Christian can seal this one perhaps here as Christian's going to go for it at their own 40. They know they can't trade touchdowns, although it looks like King's going to left foot, steps back, and Pooch kicks it down inside the 20. Great punt. It's going to roll all the way inside the 5. Yeah, I bit that one. I should know better than that. That's what high school football. Yeah, that's so common in high school football.
Hey, week 1.
That's
week 1.
Got to get back.
Happens to all of us.
That's right. That's right.
One note there with Grand Rapids Christian missing on that 3rd down conversion. They are 1 for 5 on 3rd down in this second half. Different story than what we saw in the first half for this Grand Rapids Christian Eagles offense.
So 11:44 to go. Sailors with the ball in their own 6. This is where you'd like to say South Christian would maybe have a 4, 5, 6 minute drive. I don't think they're capable of that. The offense is just too good. It strikes too fast, and number 5 makes plays.
Let him do his thing. Yeah.
Yeah, we saw this the last 2 years. Very rarely would South have a drive over 3 minutes. I think Danny would love one here, but I don't think he can control that. Carson Viss at the helm on 1st and 10. Play action. Guns it over the middle. He's got a man at the 15. It's Burgess. There's a good slant route. Ben Tolley made the tackle to 19. Perfectly thrown football on a quick in route.
Similar play to what they ran at the end of the second half on that 4th down where they didn't get the 4th. Make up for it here. Carson Viss throws a strike to the outside.
Sailors look like they'll go with tempo here, but I think they'll dial it back and chew a little bit of clock. Play clock's only at 22.
Danny Brown is all about go, go, go.
He does. You're right. On 1st down, Cashin Van Solkema with his first carry of the night. Struggles his way over the right side for a couple. Ty Damstra was there to make the tackle along with Will Hussig.
We talked with Danny before the season. He was saying that they don't even do conditioning because everything is just go, 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 go. So when that's your mentality, you get to a point of a game like this where it's, okay, guys, slow it down. Do you even try to? Is that just the second? That's not, your nature. It's not how you play.
It's a great way to practice too. When you think about it, the rules constrain practice times. So the more you can do in a 2 or 2.5 hour practice with that speed, that not only is good for your practice efficiency, but creates conditioning. 2nd and 7. Viss will fake the handoff, keep it himself over left guard. He's into the secondary, out over the 30 to the 35. Brought down by Davis Hutt. Another first down. 3 plays. They move from the 5 to the 36. Clock winds inside of 10:25.
They've ran that a few times there where Grant Jansen, the 6'1", 160-pound, 11th grade right tackle, comes pulling through and lead blocks. And it's been an effective play.
I am so glad you brought that up because out of all the stories out there in navy blue and white, as Osterhaven probes the left side out beyond the numbers, past the 40 to the 43 as a 5-yard gain for first down, tackled by Cameron Morgan. Grant Jansen, you just said that, 6'1", 160 pounds. That's right, he's not a receiver. He is the starting right tackle. It has been years, maybe 40 years, since South Christian had a tackle who weighed 160 pounds. We asked Danny about that this week. He said, the young man is just so tough and works so hard, and he'll take on anybody. And he's going up today against guys who are at least 50 pounds heavier than him, and in some cases 100 pounds heavier than him. Cameron Morgan. 2nd and 3 from the 43. Big hole for Isaac Osterhaven on the right side, into the secondary, to the 30, to the 25. Finally chased down by Umari Talib at the 21-yard line. Great block by who else? Grant Jansen on the right side.
They heard us talking. Ran right behind number 51, who had a great block, pinning down the defensive end, which brings Osterhaven loose for the big 37-yard gain there. I mean, I'm well over 160 with a couple pieces of pizza. Like, this kid is a stud.
Grayson Hunderman, the right guy, with a good block on that play as well. 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line. Eagles with 5 up off the front line. Another hole off the left side this time for Osterhaven. He's chopped down at the 16 by Davis, but not before he rambles for 7. And right now it's just a case of hands on hips in white. The Grand Rapids Christian Eagles and an offensive line that is having their way over really a bit of a downtrodden Christian team that has played so gamely tonight, but has been the byproduct of 3 or 4 unfortunate plays that have allowed South to almost put this game away here in the 4th quarter.
Well put. That's where the game can be so cruel. Look at the box score right now. It's pretty even across the board. But, man, a couple plays, a couple key moments, and you find yourself in this large deficit, down 35-21.
Ruben Riley knows that, and he's going to take a timeout before the 2nd down and 4 play. Uccello's Restaurant has a restaurant near you all around Greater Grand Rapids. Go where great food and sports come together. Check them out at uccellosrestaurant.com. Other big games tonight on Michigan Sports Radio. Granville is in Ohio, in Garrison Gaddy country in Pickerington, Ohio, where the Bulldogs meet Pickerington High School. How's that for a non-conference matchup for Granville?
But that's where the great Jake Butt went to school.
The great Jake Butt. That is an understatement. He was one of the finest tight ends ever to wear the maize and blue.
Never lost to Ohio.
Also on the road on Michigan Sports Radio tonight is Grand Rapids Catholic Central. Eric Wells has the call in Indiana, where the Cougars are meeting Lake Central. And then the showdown on the shoreline has Zeeland West at Muskegon. That game also on Michigan Sports Radio. So a great lineup of games tonight all season long on Michigan Sports Radio. 14 to 15 games on any given Friday. Your place for high school football through Ford Field. 2nd and 4. Here's a fumble. Miss handoff between Viss and Van Solkema. Recovered by the Eagles. Elijah Balsaitis alertly pounced on it, and just when we thought this one was about over, there is still life in the Grand Rapids Christian Eagles.
Stops a read option. Ball wasn't pulled, held on too long. Not quite sure from our angle here, but enough to cause the fumble and give a little bit of life back to this Grand Rapids Christian football team.
From the 18, they go empty backfield for Charlie King. 3 receivers out to the left, 2 to the right. Sailors with a 3-man rush. King to throw. Guns at left sideline over the head of Tyler Davis. Good coverage by Gavin Bauma out in the flat. Incomplete. So 5 wide. You rush 3. That's not a great percentage if you're the offense, trying to find a way to complete a pass to one of 5 receivers who are covered by 8.
Yeah, I'm watching these linebackers, watching Rowan DeCam and Grayson Hunterman, and they are showing blitz. Timeout.
Timeout. Take a quick 30-second break. Back after this.
You ever thought about a career in metal manufacturing? Today, careers in robotics, product development, engineering, and IT are just some of the few of the outstanding careers available. There are hundreds of businesses in West Michigan looking for people just like you and are willing to provide the training you need. Go to youarehired.pma.org or click on the PMA logo on the Michigan Sports Radio homepage. There's an opportunity for a lifelong career, and it's in your hands.
Back here at East Kentwood, 2nd and 10 with 7:37 to go in the fourth. South Christian had a chance to double up the Eagles in the red zone just moments ago, but a fumble turned it over. Now Grand Rapids Christian again, 5 wide. Charlie King out of the gun, has time, steps up in the pocket, eludes a tackle from Fenema, now busts it out to the right side. He's along the right sideline over the 35 to the 40. Chased down from behind on a good comeback tackle by Brady Van Noord. It's the first scamper of the night for Charlie King, that of the 24-yard variety. He looked pretty elusive on that one.
Yeah, he was looking for Golston on the left side. He was running a deep post. He was eyeing him the whole way, and nice coverage by the Sailors secondary, and he had to improvise with his feet and did so nicely.
I think, as we talked a little bit earlier in the fourth quarter, I think South Christian's going to bend here. They're going to give up yardage. I think they can stop the Eagles in the red zone. They've done that tonight. King will roll left, throws left sideline. Golston sort of turned around. The pass was behind him. He had to adjust, couldn't do it. It fell incomplete. Coverage was there by Bryce Kenyon and Brady Van Noord.
Rolling away. Again, you mentioned this before, but rolling away from Ty Brinks.
Yeah, he is you think about the defensive ends that South has had in the last few years. Sawyer
Good
Tenhalf, Connor Dykema, Caden Dykema. Just a host of big, lanky, 6'6", rangy guys that just could get into the backfield. Here they come again. Brinks has got a beat on King. He'll get away from him, though, along the right sideline, running for his life out of bounds at the 47. Was able to pick up 3.
I just watched Tyler Brinks with the spin move. He looked like Joey Bosa out there. That was impressive. But great play there by King. Improvised with his feet.
I think King knows he's there, and that's probably affecting how much the young quarterback will keep his eyes downfield as opposed to worrying about if 18 in blue is bearing down on him. 3rd and 5 now at the 42. I checked at the 47 for the Eagles. King will roll right. Here comes Brinks. He's
Yep.
got a beat on him. He's going to dump him, and he causes a fumble. And South Christian recovers. Tyler Brinks continues to have a night.
He has been special. He blitzed from the opposite side, chased down King with a big strip sack. My goodness.
Parker Hennigan down. Looks like he's cramped up, but that turnover gives South the ball back to the 42. Did we see who recovered the fumble? Not sure, but again, it was Tyler Brinks. All right, so later tonight in the post-game show, the Beist Electric post-game show, Garrison Gaddy will join us to pick the Big O Smokehouse player of the game. I'm just warning you, Garrison, right now, because the easy thing to do is pick the quarterback. It always is, but you better evaluate number 18 because he has had a great one tonight. Not telling you how to do your job, Garrison. Just telling you that it's an evaluative process. And there's a lot that goes into it. Hennigan looks like he's okay. Comes off the field.
You said Big O Smokehouse.
Big O Smokehouse in Caledonia.
Sounds like the place to be after this.
Hennigan's okay. He's up and he'll flip over to the offensive side now at his left guard spot. In the offensive lineup right now is Carson Joldersma. He's number 66, a junior, 6'4", 250. This has Van Solkema in the backfield. Brinks now steps back to an H-back position. They'll play action to Van Solkema. Got it over the middle of the Burgess. He's got it at the 30, breaks the tackle, and then can't get away from Tolley at the 25. Now he's down with a cramp. And this is the 17-yard gain. This is customary for this game. Like I said, we've seen this for years. The first game of the year is always in August, and it's always between these two teams, and invariably the game stops at least a dozen times for player cramps.
Yeah, it's not too hot. It's 75 degrees out right now, but yeah, you're well hydrated prior to the game, and then as the game goes on, probably not consuming the liquids necessary, and it starts to feel. Also throws off the flow of the game as well, which I don't think South Christian's overly concerned with right now. You of course want to kill some clock here, but it does impede the flow just a bit.
1st and 10 at the 24.
Burgess is hobbling back to the sideline. Should be all right.
Here's where you look for a steady diet of Isaac Osterhaven, mixed in with a little Vis scamper. Let that offensive line go to work halfway through the fourth quarter and a 2-touchdown lead. This offset pistol, Osterhaven to his left. Turns, gives to Osterhaven, cuts back over the right side, spins out of a tackle at the 17, and then fights his way down to the 12 before T.D. Davis saved a touchdown.
Another cramp.
And the cramp fest continues.
Isaac Osterhaven runs hard. He sure does. He is not afraid. If as a sophomore, he is not afraid to put his head down and pick up those extra yards.
5:53 to play in this football game. I can't see, Bryce, who's down. If it is Osterhaven? It is because Cashin Van Solkema, number 22, is in the lineup. D. Kistner, longtime South Christian. What'd you call it? The great D. Kistner?
The legendary D. Kistner.
I bet she's dealt with a few cramps back in her day.
This is nothing. Nothing to D. But they say you don't drink water the day of. You don't hydrate the day of. You hydrate the days before. This is the great Garrison Gaddy.
Ball back after half, and instead turn it over. South Christian gets 2 touchdowns in 39 seconds. And beyond that, I wouldn't say there's so much as a play.
Break and come back with the Beist Electric post-game show. Garrison Gaddy will have our Big O's Smokehouse player of the game. Kurt Copeland had that role with basketball. His problem was he had to face those kids the next day in school if he didn't pick them. At least the good news for you is that, you can make a pick and avoid the
I can go high.
Players. Carson Viss will take a knee. Grand Rapids Christian next week will open their home season with a very winnable game. Grand Rapids Union visits Eagles Stadium. So the Eagles certainly with a good chance to get on the winning track there. Union fell to Zeeland East 36-7 last night. Zeeland East, one of the new teams that South Christian will face. Zeeland West this year is new. But the one that I just think is exemplary of the tough schedule is the Forest Hills Central game. They are the Division II defending state champs. It's a much bigger school than South Christian, and talk about punching above your weight. My goodness.
No, but you know what? Grand Rapids Christian showed the ability to stay in the game with South Christian for most of the game. If they can go back to the film room and put some things together, figure out what they did wrong as everyone else is going to do, they will be okay. They won't win a lot of games, but they will be okay.
The difference this year is Isaiah Cavanis, their quarterback last year, was a converted running back 2 weeks before the first game. There's no doubt Charlie King is a young, albeit young, but a very talented young quarterback. And I think he reminds me, again, a guy you know very well, Alec Wickstrom, who played QB for the Eagles for a couple years. All right, that'll do it. Carson Viss takes the final knee, and we are in the books for our opening game of 2024. The Sailors win at 42-27. Don't go away. The post-game show brought to you by Beist Electrics coming up on Michigan Sports Radio in the Sailor Zone. That's all ahead after this. 42-27. South Christian wins it.
The 76 Diner and Truck Stop would like to invite you and your families to come and check out their diner. With locations in both Byron Center and Coopersville, they're a great place to stop before or after the game. They have a wide variety of menu choices to feed all the kids. They serve breakfast hot all day, and they're able to accommodate all of your large group needs. Their full menu is available for takeout orders, and they have online ordering at 76truckstopdiner.com.
To everyone making time for life's best moments, let us celebrate with you.
In Wisconsin, we love celebrating together.
Big days or any other day.
So much.
From hot and juicy to ooey gooey
to oh my word.
Oh my word.
Culvers!
Serving you a handcrafted meal that makes
today
a little bit more special. That's what fills us up inside.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Yeah.
Are you looking for a new career? Aetna Supply is hiring. Aetna Supply is Michigan's #1 plumber wholesaler, servicing local customers for over 50 years. They offer great benefits, a 401k with company match, quarterly bonuses, and no Sundays. Once again, check them out at aetnasupply.com/careers or click on their logo on the Michigan Sports Radio homepage. Are you having a hard time hearing tonight's game? Hi, I'm Brock Conkle from Michigan Sports Radio, and after putting it off for many years, I decided to contact Miracle Ear and get my hearing tested, and sure enough, had significant hearing loss. The friendly staff at Miracle Ear fitted me with hearing aids, and life is so much more enjoyable being able to hear the things that I've been missing. Go to miracle-ear.com to schedule your free hearing evaluation. There's a location near you.
righty, welcome back here. Hey, before we give it back to Bob to do the final kind of rundown of the game here, we just need to take a moment to appreciate this. We mentioned on the broadcast already, 11 years. You and a few other legends of the game started this out. Now you're moving on to another exciting adventure. We talked about it. Tune into Calvin University football games. That is where you'll be headed here, but we do need to take a moment. Those of you still listening have listened to this voice now for 11 years. Multiply that by 9 games in a season, plus some playoff games. I don't know what that total number is, but it is a big number, and that is a consistency that many of our listeners have had for the Friday nights and the falls for the South Christian football games. And so we need to take a moment just to celebrate what you have done, appreciative of what you have done, what you have built here. Of course, Garrison and I are excited. We hope that everyone continues to tune in with us, and we continue the legacy that both Bob and Arlen have carried on. But for tonight, as South Christian celebrates a great win, we also want to celebrate the pioneer sitting to the right next to me, legend of the game, for not even just West Michigan broadcasting, for high school football broadcasting as a whole, basketball as a whole. We appreciate this, so congratulations. Thank you. And I know everyone listening has been very appreciative of everything you've done.
Thanks, Bryce. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm not going away. I mean, we'll still be around, and obviously look forward to having folks tune in for Calvin on Saturday afternoons. And also, I'll be in the 96.1 studio pinch hitting for Rick Berkey next week to report on all the games, and look forward to listening to your guys' debut broadcast next Friday night at East Grand Rapids. A great place to do it. Todd Scrotenborough will have some wonderful shots, hopefully, of the Reeds Lake background, and should be a fantastic night at Memorial Field next Friday night. Here tonight at East Kentwood, Grand Rapids Christian was valiant in defeat, but South Christian opens the 2024 season with a 42-27 win. The game was 14-14 after the first quarter. South scored on a couple of touchdown passes by Carson Viss, one to Tyler Brinks, the other two Owen Burgess. Grand Rapids Christian answered with a couple of TD passes of their own. Charlie King throwing one to TD Davis, the other two to King throwing to I cannot see that. Read that. Who was the second TD pass to? There you go. Golston. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, we should have known that.
We should know
Kid's been
that.
everywhere.
There's a lot of touchdowns tonight. I can't remember them all.
Yeah.
Golston, that's right, yeah. That made it 14-14 after one. Second quarter, Grand Rapids Christian had their only lead of the game, and it was a surprise moment when Tony Phillips ran in from 14 yards, capping an 89-yard drive by the Eagles to take a 21-14 lead. That led to a sort of a lull in the scoring for most of the second quarter until the very end when the fireworks started. Inside of a minute to go, Grand Rapids Christian fumbled at the Sailor 10 on a great tackle by Ty Brinks. Sailors recovered. They quickly moved down the field. Viss hit Bryce Kenyon for a 65-yard TD strike and a touchdown to make it 21-20. And on the ensuing kickoff, South Pooch kicked the ball to about the 35-yard line. Nobody for GRC fielded it. South Christian alertly jumped on it at the 30, and on the next play, the final play of the first half, Viss found Brinks in the corner of the end zone for a score, and that made it 27-21. And that last 30 seconds, the fumble, the 65-yard TD strike, and the kickoff, followed by another touchdown pass, just really took a lot of the wind out of Grand Rapids Christian at the break. And yet in the third quarter, they still were game. They were gamely. They had a chance to go in for a game-leading score in the third quarter, but another defensive stop on fourth down preserved South Christian's lead. Sailors would move it quickly down the field and score on a Colson Fenema 1-yard TD run, and then capped off the scoring a bit later on Carson Viss's 9-yard TD run to make it 42-21 before Will Owens added a 5-yard TD score at the end to pad Grand Rapids Christian's points to 27 and leave our score at 42-27. So that's the way it ended. Bryce, stat line, a busy night for Tim with a lot of offense.
Tim's been working hard over here. I see his hand is cramping as we speak, but he has done an amazing job with the stats because there have been many of them. We talked about it on the broadcast. Pretty even game, all things considered here, except for some key factors, of course, score being one of them, but other things like turnovers, 2 major fumbles there for Grand Rapids Christian that really can end up being the differentiator because both teams had a similar number of penalties. 8 penalties for Grand Rapids Christian, 9 for South Christian. Grand Rapids Christian was 4 for 10 on third down. South was 3 for 8. Both teams were 1 for 4 on fourth down. And then total yards, South Christian outdid Grand Rapids Christian 462 to 425. And so you see a lot of those similar comparisons there. The game was close on the stat sheet, but of course those plays make a difference. Highlighting some of these performances here, of course the main one is Carson Viss here. 12 for 22, 268 yards, 268 yards, 4 touchdowns, and then also carried the ball 17 times for $172 and 1 touchdown there. So a big night for number 5, Carson Viss. But then his counterpart, King, looked solid as well, 16 for 24, 276 with 2 touchdowns, slinging the ball, of course, out to Golston, who had a big night as well, 5 catches for 133 yards and a touchdown. And, of course, big plays all throughout the evening. For South Christian, the leading receiver was Burgess, 7 catches for 89 yards and 1 touchdown there. So fun game, full of fireworks, full of big plays. Great way to kick off the season.
Our Big O Smokehouse player of the game, as selected by Garrison Gaddy, goes to...
Well, I feel like there's going to be one name right now, and that's Tyler Brinks. This kid had 2 catches, 44 yards, but it's not about him having the ball in his hands. It's what are you doing when the ball's not in your hands?
And by the way, those 2 catches were for touchdowns.
Oh, he mossed them. He's jumping over kids, and he's catching it. All 6'4" of them. He had 2 block kicks, 2 sacks, and a forced fumble. Those are some of the biggest plays in this game that actually turned out the South Christian win. So there you have it. Tyler Brinks, MVP.
I'm proud of you for not picking a quarterback. It's because every game you're going to have an easy time.
I'm
if
a Buckeye fan. You know, like wide receivers.
Oh, gee. With that, it's time to sign off. All right. Hey, I want to thank a lot of people tonight. Ruben Heisman and Jared Wilson on the camera, a couple of Todd Scrotenboro's students that we'll look forward to working with all season long. Thanks to Todd for a great job on the production of tonight's game. So grateful for him. Tim Chenoweth with the stats. And the 2 guys that'll take you home during the South Christian season, Bryce Sack as our color commentator tonight, and Garrison Gaddy, the 3rd member of the crew. They'll be back with you next week from East Grand Rapids when the Pioneers host South Christian at 6:45 on Michigan Sports Radio. Should be a good one. Until then, everyone, have a great Labor Day weekend. Enjoy all the football as we kick off the season and the good family time and fun of the Labor Day weekend that is all about Michigan here on this 2024 end of summer. That'll do it. Once again, the final score, Grand Rapids Christian and South Christian in a fun one tonight. Sailors win at 42-27. So long, everybody.